You get me from a different angle over here. If you're not on TikTok, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about you. Look, you get the turtle. I got to move my turtle. Hold on. Can you see the turtle? So my daughter, who's a precocious, genius little 9-year-old, she says, "Mommy, your TikTok, what'd she say? Your YouTube is terrible." I was like, "Glad you think so. What else is wrong?" And she was like, "Fix your YouTube. I need to raise you up is what I need to do." And she goes, "I want you to do videos. And then whenever you do a video, put the turtle in the video and people have to find it." I was like, "Oh, you're clever." So later on, if anybody's looking for the turtle, there it is. There it is. So, hey, y'all, I'm going to raise you up. This one needs to be raised up. What are we going to do? What are we going to use to raise you up? Raise you up. I've got a ball. That's not going to work. The ball is not going to work to raise you up. Let's just think about it for a minute. Why do you have to go live on your app, Angela? Because you get banned and canceled. And I got fired from Notre Dame because they saw my comedy cooking show where I showed you how to find your special space, the special spot on a turkey. But it was Thanksgiving and the turkey was dead and I was with my mom. It was really funny, but they fired me. That's a pinned on the top of my TikTok as a thing I recommend you seeing. And yeah, so me and my big mouth. Oops. I hold on. I need to raise you up. Ready? Hey, you. Hey, one. Hey, the one. I need to raise you up. We're live on TikTok. I recommend you go onto TikTok. Look, I didn't even do my makeup. This is me, just natural, y'all. I'm going to see about you. What am I going to raise you up with? Hold on. Don't stop believing. Look, a book on tree houses. Angela's favorite thing, camping and tree houses. Stop judging. Or judge all you want. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, I got a guitar in the background that got the turtle. We're good. This angle, though, you get to see my flat head over here. I might have to bust out with my hair. Look what I found. You missed it. Look what I found. When you feel like you got a flat head, go hang out with your black girlfriends, and they give you this thing. They're like, "Girl, you need some help." Oh, God. That's so funny. Look. See? There you go. Can anybody tell? Is that the funniest thing? That makes me laugh. What are you doing? Well, talking about men. Hey. Oh, thank you so much. I got a comment over here. Hey, John, you look lovely. Thank you. I'm no makeup, straight in the morning. I get up at 5 in the morning and do a little meditation. And then I am trying. Well, you don't try, you do. It's easier done than said. Did you know that? It's easier done than said. So I'm not doing it yet. I've quit one bean. Now this is another bean I have not quit. And why can't you comment over there, y'all? I saw a pop-up thing on my TikTok that you can only comment if you're a subscriber. What the hey is that about? I mean, subscribe, but I mean, does it charge you money to subscribe? Can you tell me the flow? I'm new. I'm the new girl. Take me around. She's totally dirty. Quit. You'll get banned. All right, listen, ready? This is raw milk. It's been the answer to my prayers. This is why I love Jesus so much. This is the one in Nashville. He looks like Jesus. He's a good friend of mine. He said forever, drink raw milk. And I was like, I ain't drinking milk. Milk is disgusting. And he's right. Raw milk, tastes totally different than in the store. This is mine. This is mine. I can grab it out of the refrigerator and drink it like this if I want. It's mine. I've been drinking raw milk and eating red meat, and it's amazing. It's been has had amazing effects on my body. So I'm talking about men. Hey, John, it's perfect timing. I'm talking about men. What you got? What's your questions about men? Men. Men, I think, are being bamboozled and manipulated and thwarted. And the thing is, fellas, is that the ladies are crazy, and I have said that for years. And my friend, the one in Nashville, said to me something brilliant. He's like, "Stop calling them crazy. Call them poisoned." So I'm getting hot, y'all. Call them poisoned, and I'm like, that was a really, really great note, because it's like we have been poisoned. We have been poisoned, and we're poisoned from a very, very young age. And it comes from what we're eating in our food. It comes from what we're eating in our food, and also, I'm gonna back you up just a little bit. Back her up, baby. Oh crap! I just realized something. I'm sorry. I have to copy this link and put. Hold on. Technical difficulties. I gotta copy this link and go over here and add the link because it doesn't automatically change. Blah blah blah. I gotta go over here and put the link right here. Okay, yeah, there it is. Boom. Save. And I'll put it in the send without message. And I'm gonna put the link here. Boom. Yeah. Comment. Does it work? Does it not work? I don't know. It's live. It's public. Anybody can look at it on my YouTube. This is coming because my daughter was like, "Mommy, your YouTube sucks." I'm like, "What are you, 9? Hell, what you got to do about it?" Calling all men. So I'm going to talk about men today. Oh, I love you so much. God damn. How you doing? You didn't see what I was doing. I was playing with Elvis. Look. Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you too, Alex. Alex is my favorite name. So I started talking to men and learning about pricks. Be very careful. When I was very young, I have a show about it. My show is showing up November 5th. Remember the 5th of November. You can get tickets now. They're $27 to watch it online. It's going to have 2, maybe 3 cameras. It's my same crew, much of my same crew. Some of them I'm like, hell no. Some of my same crew from my movies are also going to be in London. And it's in London, November 5th. So you can buy a ticket, $27. It's totally reasonable. And you can have it forever. And with that comes my book, the PDF version. The people that get the big ticket are getting the printed version. Quit crying. And my show is called Pricked. Prick Ed. Pricked. My daughter thinks it should be called the Holy Fucking Shit Show. Which she's not wrong. And the reason it's called Pricked is because we don't get segs ed in this country, United States. We get, so my show is Prick Ed. It's all of the education that I received by the prick, okay? And I had the incorrect textbook that I was studying for years in my brain. Very similar to the rest of us. You got the wrong book. You've been studying the wrong freaking book. And it's my miseducation and re-education as a victim, survivor, warrior, badass. It's pretty, and ultimately it's a sermon. I'm gonna warn you now. It says on my OF. Yes, I got one of those. It says in the asterisk, buyer beware. I'm taking you to church. So, hey, Alex. Alex is laughing, and it is true, but it's not the dogma-y kind. It's the super like get into your purpose kind. And I am doing that. I'm taking you. I'm just I'll tell you in the asterisk right up front when you sign up. 27. I am a 27.9 if you really want to like date me or something. I've decided I'm retired from dating because I'm dumb. You have to talk to my sister. If you're really interested in me that way, you gotta like read. It's angelashelton.com/date, I think. Date. And you gotta talk to my sister because she hates men. And if you can get past her with a application, then she will be like, that one. Otherwise, I'm dumb as hell. And I'm going to just admit that. I can do a lot of things. I can make movies. I can do all kinds of things. But differentiate between somebody who like has my back and somebody who doesn't, I'm not quite there yet because I love everybody. And I'm like, I don't know a stranger and I'm naive as hell. There's my wound right there. Is it a wound or is it a superhero quality? I don't know. But I freaking love people. I don't know a stranger. If you are like the jealous type, like that's just not ever gonna go well with me. Because I'm like, I could be at a gas station and I'm friends forever with Margaret over there. We're going camp. She's gonna visit my campsite at the next festival. What? Oh my God, Stay. Hey, Stay. Cynthia. God bless you. Talking about men, Cynthia. Talking about men today. And my show, Pricked, is dissecting all that I've learned from the fellas. And it started with misinformation. It literally started with misinformation. I am going to be very careful what I say on here. I'm going to move it so I can see your comments. Can you tell me, like, y'all, I see a bunch of you on here, but I'm like, you can't, something popped up and said, can't comment. You can comment on my YouTube so I can see your precious selves. Oh, yeah. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about men. But I wanted to give that disclaimer. I had a 24-year-old hit me up yesterday. That is lucky. I'm not straight, but made me feel so good. Oh, you're not straight. You know you're not straight? I'm not straight on some days. Some days. You should read my book, Dumb Model and Her 4 French Chairs. There's a chapter in there, Chocolate Strawberries, that tells my story. One of them. But yeah, no. The 24 is good because their brain is formed. Actually, on my dating page, if you want to date me, you have to at least be 24 because you have to have a brain. That's funny. That is funny. But I'm retired, unless you talk to my sister. So, Angela, what are you saying about men? Why? I'll start it with one prick. Don't you get banned. Don't you get banned. Listen, my darling little moderator on here, Jay, he's hot, also hot as hell. I'll send him to your sister's direction. That's funny. The problem is that the young ones tend to not have the stamina. I'm not going to lie. Like, I mean that in all ways. Like the stamina to like really work at something, not work. I can't stand that theory or statement like relationships are so hard. Relationships are work. They're not really. I'm going to say no, that's not. When you're truly authentically yourself and you are a mirror for your one you love, it's not work at all. It's play. It's freaking awesome. It's just like, hey, how can I help you? I love you. And when you both do that, it's like the best dance ever. But the fellas, I've noticed, the young ones, especially coming after me, they're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh. What? Stop judging. They totally don't, or they want to call you mommy. Well, my OF is Mommy Teaches, so I embrace that. And I do have a book, Mommy Teaches, You're Such a Good Boy, coming out probably by the end of the year. I hope it's by my show, but listen, no promises. Maybe my birthday. Hey, y'all, hey. And so I have men. Oh my God, the men. I have learned so much about men. I've been married a couple times. What? Stop judging. There's only one that I actually went into marriage thinking I would be married. Like I had like a marriage and I had like the other times were like, it was a boyfriend who needed insurance kind of thing. I'll help you out. And the only time I've actually been like married and did the whole thing, it was 10 years. It was an experience in the country living, married my high school sweetheart, and we have an amazing child. And he um is like ridiculously smart. He's like IQ like smarty pants level, same as my kid, which is why I wanted to procreate with him. Procreate with the genius. I mean, hello. But he said something very profound on the few times he spoke. It's not much of a talker, really. But he said there are some people that are better in service to the world than you are in one relationship. Because he hates people, he hates events, he hates Hollywood, he hates music, and I mean he's an angry Buddhist. Yeah, he's an angry Buddhist who drinks a lot. And so it just wasn't gelling at all because he like I don't know a stranger and I will, go and be friends with everybody. And he's not like that. And they can work, relationships like that will work, but it kept depleting me. And we had a come to Jesus talk really of like it's actually better. I'm a better use to the world and to the 24-year-olds out there. Oh, I've decided I'm never going to be in a relationship. I have way too much love to give. Let me dissect that comment. Stay. Cynthia, stay. You got way too much love to give, so you won't be in a relationship. What the hell? I would think that you find somebody who's also giving, and then you have like a whole awesome dance party of just giving. Sign me up. Not with you. I mean, no offense, but I have definitely have I wouldn't say a type because I got like two different types, me personally, but it's things I like to do and not that doesn't fit everybody. That would be the phallus. I mean, shh. Anywho, what I have learned about men over the years, I'm going to move this away. Ooh, I just got a message. Wow, happened. Hey. Hello. Call my sister. I'm retired. Oh yeah. But I have learned so much, and I am gonna tell it in my show, and it'll be very, very funny, and I'll act it out. I'm actually gonna be dressed like Elvis at one point, singing "Lady" by Kenny Rogers because that has a story to it. Oh yeah, oh yeah. But I originally started this show pricked as a way to tell my spiritual experiences that are also prick, because I'm going over the definition of prick, which is also prick up your ears, which is also prick, which is also prick, which is also prick, which is also prick. Like when you prick to get the oxen going or get the war started, you're like prick. You prick them, and so there's all different ways that you can use prick. And yes, this is true. Love the prick, use the prick. Hey, you rode the Harley yet? Ooh, yes, I did. Is that you? Yeah, I traded my mom's van for a Harley that then I got paid for, which is perfect, and then stayed with a hottie, actually 25-year-old, to be honest. And so he has the Harley, but I got paid for it, and I was able to give my mama some money and save her life because she's like literally like driving that van. For those who know me in that past history or my whole life, if you've been following my mom and stuff, she would just call me and say like, I drive the van into the ditch, la la la. And I'm like, oh my God. We've reached the point where you have to take care of your senior parents and make sure that they don't kill themselves or wind up in a ditch. So I sold her van. I traded it for a Harley. I mean, who gets to say that sentence? Traded my van for a Harley. My daddy was in a van down by the river. He was weird like that. He was one of those weirdos. What are you talking about, Angela? Pricks? The biggest one is my dad in more ways than one. I wish I could say, I wish I could completely be myself on TikTok, but you can't. You have to behave. So Hmm. Behave. You know, oh, hold on. You know, when you're talking about the fellas, what do you mean? There he is. There he is. I love you. Hey, hey. Sharon on here named him. You're so cute. What's your name again? I forget. I'm lying. Ah! It's a half-ass. That's what your name is. Half-ass. Half-ass. Because you got no, but he's got half-ass. Half-ass. And he loves me. Okay. Yeah, I know. You need to calm down. You need to calm down. Um so, yep. So anyway, so you know when you've got this on you, it's from I got kicked off of Tinder 4 times. Shut! Why? What? Because people thought I was not real. They thought I was using Angela Shelton's pictures as to try to date. And I'm like, no, superheroes date too. And superheroes go out with younger guys too. Stop judging. Look at me. But then when you make the wrong choice more than once, you're like, oh, my sister needs to be at that gate. Yeah. So my sister's at that gate now. She thinks it's hilarious. She read what I wrote and she was like, what? She's like, change this, this, and this. I was like, oh my God, that's funny. I just want to see what it is. Date, I think. Dating. No, it's not. Oh, I know. It's the blog. There it is. It's if you go to my blog, Truth Teller Angela Shelton dating. Yeah, there it is. It's funny. You have to put in how old you are. The dating conversation. Yeah. So it's on my blog, angelashelton.com/news. Should say blog, but quit judging. /dating. That's funny. And everybody thinks that I'm with. Hey, I'm back. Hey, John. And I talk about Jesus a lot. I love me some Jesus. And my friend Sean looks like Jesus, and everybody thinks I'm with him. It's not true. He's a very, very good friend of mine, and I know what he likes. And I could be like, hey, ladies, get off of meds, get yourself stable, and then talk to that guy. He will take care of ye. Like I know the behind the scenes. You're welcome. You need a half-ass. I don't drive to sacred seizure disorder. Oh, scare! Oh my God, that's so funny. Oh my God, Cynthia. Like I read that wrong, but it's a gift to you. It's a sacred seizure disorder. I don't drive because I'm scared. No, I don't drive because I have a sacred seizure disorder. You're welcome. There it is. You have a sacred seizure disorder. Love it. I drive anything, anywhere, all the time. I've even flown a plane. I'm in the process slowly of getting my CDL license because I think that's hot. And I wrote I didn't even actually wrote it. I'm a part of that song, Truck Driving Queen. It is Craig Gertis. Look him up, Craig Gertis, Truck Driving Queen. I'm a publisher and producer and also involved. He wrote the song. I just encouraged the idea, let's just say. And then he was so gracious to share writing credit with me. I'm like, wow, I love that. Somebody honest, but it wasn't totally honest because you wrote the whole freaking song, but it was your idea, but you wrote it, but I love you. Okay. Anyway, we're back to men. Men. So I've been married quite a few times. Shut up. Stop judging. And I'm not into marriage really, although I'm a total romantic. Being with me, you're going to get love notes. You're going to get like amazing food in your lunchbox. I mean, I love working men. Like I am a proponent and a promoter of men who work. I love it. You know how when you go through like construction zones or, construction, whatever, road work or construction work, usually women are like, oh my God, I hate that. Cause they're like, woo, it's the opposite for me. I'm like, woo, how y'all doing? What's in your workbook? What's in your lunchbox? Me? I love all y'all. Thank you for working. Those guys get up at like 3, 4, 5 in the morning, work all day. Unfortunately, this is what I'm sharing with I know men well. I know them. They start drinking around 3:30 because they got up at, 4, and a lot of those guys start drinking at, like, 3:30. They're lonely as hey. They're addicted to, video games. They're eating poorly, which is why I want to introduce you to the one in Nashville, and they're addicted to the corn. Because so many times when they try to find love, they run into the 20-something-year-old women who are batshit. But they're not. They're poisoned. Because I appreciate my friend Jesus. He said, don't say they're crazy. Say they're poisoned, which is very, very, very true. So you got all these fellas who are great catches. Like there's some who own their own homes, own their own vehicles, are like actually working on themselves while they're depressed. They are, and they're going down the sinkhole of corn and you know what I'm saying, right? Corn and corn and alcohol and other things to fill the void because they're lonely and they desperately need affection, which is why so many young guys come after women like me who are older because we're way more affectionate and we love and we know how to cook and take care of you. That's where the attraction comes from. They're like, mommy. Many of these guys had terrible mothers. And so they're attracted to like, oh, let me find, mommy and then fix that. Well, this is part of my help with the fellas is like healing that stuff. Hey, yes, she is. Hey, John. Um, so my help with the fellas and why I talk about it so much is it's coming from trauma. It's coming from wounds. It's coming from, oh my God, horrible mothers. Yeesh. You think that like us ladies had bad dads and we got daddy issues? Yeah, we do. But the women are more poisoned than the men. So therefore, when the women try to get into relationships with the men, they drive them nuts because they're not even present. They're in their like anxiety and fears and doubts and worries. And many times when you start dissecting those ladies, fellas, hey, thank you for the glitter. You're gonna run into they're on meds. They're eating so poorly. They've never dealt with their original trauma that pissed them off. And so they are actually not crazy, they're poisoned, much like the fellas. But there's a little bit worse with the ladies that's why I'm like, I'd love you to listen to the one in Nashville.com. And he's on TikTok too, the one in Nashville. He's a dear friend of mine. He looks like Jesus and he is talking openly about it. And he's not going to get canceled like I will. Because I'm also like, I'm naughty as hell. So I'm walking a fine line getting canceled. I mean, there's a reason that I get fired and banned and, in trouble because I am speaking the truth, but I'm doing it, sometimes naked. What? Shut. What'd you say? Hey, come to my show. Just like no one is broken, just injured. Yeah, it's like you're damaged, injured. Yeah, it's so people are incredibly wounded, especially now. You're like incredibly poisoned, okay? And so my gift to humanity is to like strip off my stuff. What'd you say? And show you everything and how I got out up until where I'm at. Like right now I'm 50 and I feel amazing and I'm living the best life. I just got back from an amazing dance festival because COVID gave me, oh, don't say those words. Convid gave me chickens and a divorce. And now when my daughter goes to her dad, I go do things that I absolutely love. I still do it every day, but I mean, when I go away, she's with her dad and I'm able to discover and do what I truly love. And discovering and doing what I truly love for me personally, might not be for you, is dancing to live music. It's my most favorite thing, and camping. So like grassroots festival, you will see me there with ribbons. Wait, really? Shut your front door. What? Yeah. Yeah, what? What? Yeah, that would be me. That would be me. That's how to find me. And I'm doing this kind of stuff, and I am on all the kids are following me. Like I'm like a Pied Piper. Like I'm in the world, and kids follow. They're like, hey, and animals. Like the last one I just went on this weekend. I'm laying in a dance drum tent with like flowy fabrics, totally like, woo. And I'm laying on a yoga mat, and they're doing this like drum thing over everybody's bodies. It's a drum sound bath. I'm at a festival in the middle of like, there's no Wi-Fi. It's in a national forest or something, and out of nowhere, a cat, a pussy cat comes walking into the tent through the little flowy fabrics. Here comes this cat. Where does that cat go? To me, directly to me, lays on me, goes like this, and gets up and lays on me. And I'm like, and where Angela goes, the pussies follow. I'm like, what? So, ever want a sign from the universe? Look and see, like, if children and animals follow you. That would be me. And so I have found my passion and my true love is just honestly being myself and dancing and telling stories. And that is my show. My show is a carnival of information, and school. It's like, that's why it's called Prick Ed. It's like education class. I'm like the teacher you always wanted. I'll be dressed like a teacher too at various times. And I am basically doing this wild carnival circus act that is telling how I got out of the incorrect information that I was given, and how I got out into living the life I truly love and discovering what I truly love. Because how many times have any of us stopped doing what we truly love because it made somebody else uncomfortable? Right? I was like, oh my God, I had this realization as I was dancing like a fool. Happy as a lark, happy as a lark. And I'm like, oh my God, there have been times that I have stopped doing this because it made a dude uncomfortable. Because I got like, hey, can you pipe down? You're embarrassing me. Or my favorite is, do you do this often? Because do I do it often? I do it as often as I possibly can. Yes. Listen, y'all, I tore my ACL dancing to Leonard Skinner, Simple Man, in a field of flowers at sunrise by myself. So if that doesn't give you any kind of scene, I don't know what to tell you. And I have stopped myself because of other people over the years. And I'm going to show you why I stopped and how I reframed my brain. It's like education, so that you can find what works for you. You're like, oh God, I do that too. Or that aha moment. Ooh, I'm going to take that one. Or ooh, this little healing technique. I'm going to take this one. So I'm doing a class in disguise. Kind of like I'm going to be on TikTok now. My daughter said, Mommy, in order not to get banned or canceled, just speak in parables with puppets. What? Speak in parables with puppets. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, how are we going to get over our poop? Yeah, I know. I love you so much. Hello. I'm dancing to Baby Got Back at 11, and I got told it's too provocative. See, listen. The big note to self, the big like realization. I realized it in Greece when I was in Greece, receiving a sword and crowns for my humanitarian work. Oh wait, here it is. Ready? Take your glasses off. Shit. Do some makeup, why don't you? Look, see? Here's one of the crowns I received in Greece. And I had this epiphany. I received a sword, a real sword, for my sword work. If you don't know that, well, deep dive my website. I work a lot with the swords. Today we're talking about working with a different sword. What? And I was presented with an actual sword, like a real, for real, like knight sword, has my name on it and everything. And it's in Greece right now because there's a vineyard that wants to name a wine after me. I'm like, what? I'm like, all right, keep it. That's cool as hell. So So I was there, right? And I had this epiphany, like, I'm like, oh my God. I was with a whole bunch of women, and phenomenal women too, like bad, equally awesome women, to myself. I'm very different, but and it was like a gaggle of ladies, right? And I'm quiet, just listening and observing. I'm usually not quiet. I'm very vivacious and funny and life of the party. But I was just observing. That's because it wasn't my event. I was the honorarium. I didn't have to control everything or do everything, which is what usually I am. I'm like the boss, and I'm at the top of the call sheet. I'm the one that has the coned parking space. I'm the boss, right? But I wasn't at this event, and which was great. I didn't have to worry about the food. I didn't have to worry about transportation. I just had to be in Greece and receive a crown and swords. That's all I had to do. And I watched and I listened and I paid attention, and I was observant of where I was and what was happening, and I just listened to people. And I had this epiphany that every single one of those ladies was talking to themselves. When they give like advice, or like tell you what you shouldn't do, or what or what they're talking about, what's making them afraid. Because I'm an adventurer at my Enneagram. If anybody's done Enneagrams, have you ever done that? I'm a 7. I'm the adventure, which fits me totally well. I am actually a 7. But I realized, like, oh my God, everyone's talking to themselves. You don't want to get up at 5 in the morning and go swim in cold water. I'm like, no, you don't want to get up at 5 in the morning and swim in cold water. That's exactly what I want to do. You don't want to drive a stick shift by yourself around Heracleon. You don't even know the city. I'm like, that's exactly what I want to do. You don't want to do that. So I had this epiphany that I'm like, everyone's talking to themselves. So when you come into a conversation and you listen, like, uh, everyone's talking to themselves. Amazing. Isn't that amazing? Like, that's so much free. That's so freeing to me. I was like, huh. Well, what I love to do is go swim in cold water and hike and climb trees. I just slept in a tree, in a hammock. And many other people be like, you don't want to do that. No, you don't want to do that. So that's a great epiphany, to listen to the people that are telling you what not to do in your life. They're talking to themselves. They're talking to themselves. I was like, oh, you're welcome. There you go. Take that one. It's free. Now I'm gonna see you. Wait, hold on. I don't want to miss your comments. And stay. I don't even know what parable means, and I'm 33. I need a teacher. Parable is like a story. It's like what they tell in church, there, or in your spiritual, like, culty things. In your cults, they tell parables, where they're like, and then one time, the rabbit and the hare, or no, wait, the turtle and the hare. That's a parable. So if I could jump into a body of water every morning, I bet I'd have a better day. Truth. I got one out there, but it's private. And yes, jumping in water. You could take a cold shower. That actually helps. I know I'm a broken record talking about him, but my friend Jesus, the one in Nashville who looks like Jesus, his name is Sean. He takes a 7-minute cold shower. Good luck with that. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm in there for 7 minutes. I was like, oh. But I have started to, like, lead up to that, start with a minute and scream, or start, warm and slowly turn it cooler. Because listen to that guy. Please, dear Lord, baby Jesus, go listen and follow the one in Nashville, because he shares everything having to do with health, including cold showers. Oh, Angela. And uh, interestingly, the reason is because poison, and how we're poisoned in our food, the water also gets into your pores. So if the poisoning of your water, if you're washing in water that's not good and you do it hot, it actually seeps into your body. I'm like, what'd you say? And so that's why putting a filter on your shower, which I'm going to mail you mine, Jackie, because mine didn't fit. So I'm giving mine to Jackie, so that you filter your shower water. And then the cooler you have it, the less the toxins are getting into your body. Toxins in your body. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I've done it for 7 minutes. It's refreshing. Don't always do it. Whoo! Woo! I will go like swim and float in cold water is my favorite. It's like that. Give me the spring, like this salt springs or springs, everything. I'll just go lay in the water. Busy morning, just got on. So glad. Yay! Yay! Hey, Jackie. I just told you you're gonna get my filter. I'm gonna mail you my filter. Oh my God! I just got a notice that said Angela gets paid. Pay Angela. I love that. Hey, I love getting paid. I love getting paid. Speaking of paid and speaking of men, uh, bring me to your town. It's on and do a show where we're not filtered. You know what I'm saying? Or you remove the filter to do a show, which is very similar to the shows I've done over the years because I'm funny and I talk about the sword. I bring my sword, people. But this time, this go round on the, Angela Shelton 2.0, let's call it, maybe. It's, the Angela Shelton show. I'm going deep diving into the prick. Yeah. And I take violin lessons today. Oh, God. What happens when Angela Shelton takes violin lessons? Because I'm going to play you a tiny little violin. Just for a couple notes. This is raw. So you're answering my question, Cynthia. I think only subscribers can comment. That's like, why? Why did they make that? Why'd they do that? I'm so sorry. You can comment. Yes, I got your new address, Jackie. And you can comment on my YouTube because I can see it. And it's live for everybody. 41 minutes. Men. I'm sorry. I'm communist. No. It's perfect. It's not because you're apparently you can't comment on here and let something changed. I love all y'all. Try. I don't know what it means to subscribe to me. I only know what it means to subscribe to me on my F. And even that is different. It's not what you expect. I've got like 400 posts on there. And what happened is I was writing my book for fellas, and I just put it on my O to test to see like, hey, is this resonating? Is this working? And the testimonials, wow, it shows that yes, it is working. Yes, it is working. And I am a big proponent and promoter and lover of men. And I've been helping them for now 3 years. And I'm just now coming out with what I have discovered and what I've been doing and how I'm helping and how I'm like, oh, I see that. Which leads to, I'm not sure I'll have it done by the time I'm doing my show because my focus right now is on the one in Nashville, helping him in service to Jesus, and my show. So those are my two focuses right now, and all the stuff that comes with my show, because my show comes with like a package, including a book. So it's like when you get the big ticket on my set, you're getting an actual physical thing sent to you. If you can't make it to London, you're going to get an actual like thing. Let's just call it a package. You're getting the whole package. So I'm working on that and Jesus. And I've learned to shut down my schedule because that's what a lot of us ladies, myself included, have done over the years is take on too much for other people. And so I have locked down my schedule. And so I have my next phase of work with the fellas, but I'm doing Pricked and then it will go into my magazine. If if the heavens open and I get, the help that I want, if my, all my fellas show up for me or ladies, I don't boycott or whatever. If it happens, I can do it before the show. But when you look at the schedule, you're like, we're almost in August, and my show's in November, and you're just like, oh my God, so much to do to there. But anyway, I do have a magazine that I'm going to be printing, limited. It's very, very nice, printed, limited, and you can get it online so that you can keep it and have it. And it's Hot Mom Magazine. And it also is a little bit of a trick because it's kind of like, think like Playboy without the parts. So it's very hot, and very informative for moms and men. And it's a way that I started it with my friend Austine, so she's also going to be very involved in like articles and stuff and her own story. And it's definitely a thing for reformers. I started this group called Rockstar Reformers, and you're welcome, Jackie. And it's a way for us as survivors to be at a round table of sister and fellow warriors, so that we elevate and expand, and do it in hot ways. Why not? And so I have Hot Mom magazine. Just give me a minute. I'm playing the drums. Why are you playing the drums, Angela? Because when I was 8 years old, at one of the many, many, many like party things that I went to with my mother, I was her protector. Let's just say I kicked guys out of bars, and I was the loudmouth, little a cursing loudmouth at 8 years old. That was me. And there was a guy who had a drum set, and I walked over and I just started, and he said to my mom, he's like, "Holy cow, where'd that come from? Does she have lessons or something?" I was like, "No, I just have anger. I just have anger and rage. It's no big deal." Whew, getting hot in here. Whew, I'm gonna have to do this. And I have sounds lovely. Yes. So I'm just doing it in my spare time. And the reason I'm playing drums on here and also being wacky in myself on here is I have layered up what I have learned from the men. So I've been helping men get over their addiction to corn and get to their true purpose. Do that a lot. You're welcome. And also, I have learned from men. So I have gone and watched some, and the one in Nashville is one of them, is my favorite, men who have their SHIT together. Like they got their bodies on, they got their money on, they got their relationships on, they got their businesses on, they're healthy, they look amazing, they walked out of a fashion magazine, they're on point, and they're have like core awesome values as well. So those are the men that I've been paying attention to, and all of them, I'm not even joking. I was like, what the hell? Do 3 to 6 hours for every single day for body, mind, and spirit maintenance. So I'm not even going to call it like self-love and self-care. I'm going to call it like, no, they're doing body, mind, spirit maintenance. And it is non-negotiable. I'm like, wow, you're like time to, it is body, mind, spirit is non-negotiable. With me and many ladies I've known for years, it's the other way around. You have your stuff you want to do, and it's like way down on the totem list, on the totem pole, because you have all these other stuff to do for other people. And call it codependent or whatever you want to call it, or call it being the feminine. I'm living in the feminine energy, but I have a whole lot of masculine energy. And I was like, and I've been working on like balancing that. And how I've done it is like, okay, 3 to 6 hours. How do you shit, shower, shave? When? What time? When is it? Where did you do that? And you have kids? What? Like the one in Nashville, my friend who looks like Jesus, he does not have kids, but he wants them. Sign up. He wants women who are not, or a woman who's not on pharma and who's stable and got her shit together. Good luck. Anyway, I have been like paying attention and looking at my schedule, much like I'm looking at their schedules. Like, how do they do that? Because they also own all these businesses. They also, I'm like, how do I female this? Because I don't know if you know that females have a And they tend to go all the way around and come back to the point, like you should. They go all the way around and come back to the point, all the way around and come back to the point. That would be called a. And so I'm like watching my schedule all the way around and come back to the point, all the way around and come back to the point. I'm like, how do you do 3 to 6 hours on body, mind, and spirit? For me, I have to layer it up. So my spirit and my body, mind, and my fun time is doing stuff like this and writing songs. I just wrote a song called I can't say it on TikTok. I am DICK-matized. I'm prickmatized. Here's my behave. I'm prickmatized. Never seen one so that nice. Never seen one that nice. I'm prickmatized. I should go to bed. Bed. I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I have. Yes, you should go to bed. That's funny. It's on your list, and so I've been layering up what I can do. So I gotta go and speak to you guys, or you ladies and you fellas, because it's my service work, really. So there's one. And if I layer it with my drums and my morning routine that I just go live, okay, I doubled up. Now, if I go swim for an hour, okay, there's an hour. And if I get up at 5 and I do my meditations before I even look at my phone for 30 minutes to an hour, there's another hour. And then during lunch, if I either go live or while I'm cooking, I'm layering up my body, mind, and spirit by sharing it. So then I have done more on my task list while still staying with what I've learned from these fellows is like 3 to 6 hours is non-negotiable. That's why I'm like, what'd you say? And for me, crazy ass dancing like a fool, has been like, that's my medicine. And I'm telling you, I started this conversation earlier. I've stopped myself from the most favorite, most amazing things I want to do in the world because it made somebody else uncomfortable. And that one was 10 years. That one was 2 years. That one was 3 years. That one was 6 months of like, what are you doing? My favorite, do you do that often? My answer now is like, yes, every day, as much as I possibly can. And if you can't handle it, walk away. Go talk to my sister. She hates you. So, I've been up all night and it's 8:15 here. Wow. Yeah, you got to sleep, girl. You got to take care of the sleep. Put sleep on your schedule. At least 5 hours. I mean, I don't know what you do. So I have talking about men today. Talking about men today. So as I've been interviewing them, and I interviewed them for my cooking show. I have a comedy cooking show, Stirring Up Trouble, which I just filmed the first episode, I think, of season 3, which I'm going to be talking about healing the body. And my first season, I do it in my house and with various crews. It's funny. The very, very first season was after I traveled and with my documentary for years, and I wanted to do something funny. And also, I'm a huge cook, and I love it. So I did Stirring Up Trouble, how to online date for food, which is also a trick. I wrote a book called Will Date for Food, and I have a course on my site, like online dating for food, and I show you how to do it. And you think it's a trick for the men, but it's actually a trick for the women, because I'm teaching you and showing you what I did is like, go for food to eat. Then you're eating. And what you're doing is you're listening. Listen to the fella. And these guys are really amazing. And we stop ourselves from listening to them because you got all your judgments, or you got all the things you want. You got your list and blah, blah, blah. But when you're only looking for the food, and I'll give you recipes of like how to, take that food and apply it like for the lunch and breakfast the next day. how to use last night's dinner or date. How to use last night's date to feed yourself for a day. So, but you're listening, and it was another layer of like, really like, having mad respect for men instead of coming to the party or coming to the table or coming to the moment where you have all of your issues and all of your judgments. Like they're like a scroll in front of the dude. And that's why these dudes are like, I'm gonna just play video games and drink myself silly. Bye. And I'll go back to the corn. That's why, because the ladies are coming in with like a scroll of anger, judgments, unhealed old traumas, projections of like, you my daddy, are you the guy who hurt me? It's amazing how we show up with so many projections. And these fellas, like, they're straight. They're like, what? They're not going all over the place like this, like the ladies are. Because you know what I'm saying? All around, back to the point, all around, back to the point. You see my code? All around, back to the point. Ladies, or you see me? You feel me? And then the fellas are just like, just wanted to have dinner and maybe get naked. What? What's happening? And you would be amazed, because the conversations I've had and the men I've met, you would be shocked to learn that they want affection. They truly want affection. They really do. And nurturing. And you can read all the books you want. You can go to all the courses. There's tons of them on TikTok, like how to get the man, what to text to get the man. And the men in the books and stuff are all about respect and appreciation. You got to respect them and appreciate them. And the women, they want to feel safe. And I say it's same for both. Like, I want respect, appreciation, and safety. And the fellas, it's safety too. It's safety that you're not crazy. It's safety that they're not going into like their mama nightmare or their last girlfriend nightmare. Oh my God, the stories. Listen, ladies, like, as much as this whole toxic masculinity and we hate men and all the stuff that's put out in the world, intentionally, by the way, to poison our brains against each other so that we separate. I mean, that if you want to really deep dive it, that's also why I love the one in Nashville. Go follow him, because he talks openly about it. And he's a man. He's a straight man talking about the poisoning of men and women to separate them so that we're not united. And that doesn't mean like, I'm gay, I don't want to be united with a man. It's not that. It's like fundamental partnerships, friendships, like, and there is an intentional poisoning to defame men. There really is. And I've been noticing it and for many years. And then I started interviewing men, and I believe that feminism effed up because the men didn't come. So I helped them come. Hey, wait, hold on, Cynthia. You've been up since all night because of depression, and LOL, have a good day. Well, I'd get that depression taken care of, girl. I would honestly watch what you're putting in your mouth. If it's like, so you can tell me you're depressed all day long or anxiety ridden, and I'm going to say, what meds are you on and what are you eating? Look in your medicine cabinet and wean yourself off of that stuff. Please go listen to the one in Nashville. He's got great advice. The reason I look so good at 50 is because I've been taking the health advice. And that is not putting him on some kind of pedestal guru. He's a good friend of mine, and I'm talking to, and I'm friends with people who are higher than me. They're a lot higher than me. That I want to elevate and expand to. And then I'm always helpful with the fun. Like, I bring the fun and the funny. Where you're welcome. Bring me. I'm fun and funny. Dare ya? I dare ye. Oh yeah. And it comes back to what you're putting in your mouth and how you are spending your time. And we are poisoned. And wow. And I noticed that the men, just my own personal observation as I move through life, the men are getting better faster. And they've got their shit together. Like, I know a lot of 20 somethings. They always come to me. And so many of them are working men. They own their own homes. They own their vehicles. They know what they really love in the world. But They are separated from what they want, female wise, because of honestly the toxic poisoning, and they're depressed and they're afraid because many of them have dealt with poisoned women, either their mother, or their crazy ass grandmother poisoned. Sorry, I'm learning with everybody. And the stories of the women, oh my god, oh my god. I mean, I have a whole article about it on my OF about don't put your D in crazy. Listen, don't do it, because you're gonna, she's gonna light your clothes on fire, steal your cat, get you in jail, something you didn't do. And oh my god, the stories, holy cow. Like, just the other day, 22 years old, god bless his sweet soul, worker, just his brain isn't even formed yet, he's not even 24, he's 22. He married the girl who had us a kid because he was in love with her, because dying for attention and help, and comes from the trauma life, right? And he married a girl who had a kid. She got him to sign over on, they're married now, and she got him to adopt her kid. So now he's in for child support for the rest of his life. And she left him a couple days later. Holy God. Holy God. Holy God. So it was she shystered him, just like the women are complaining that the men are shystering. And it's like, y'all, I've been doing this a while, and I've seen a consistent issue here of the poison women. And then these great guys get with the poison women, and they do stuff like that. Another friend of mine has a freaking ankle bracelet on him, like because the girl saw him with another girl. They've broken up. He's with another girl that's like cooler than her, and she filed false charges against him. Holy God. And as a means of getting back at him, you just completely bamboozled that guy's life. You're welcome. What you've done to that guy, you succeeded in the worst possible thing to do. And I see that, like, it's not the only one, y'all. It's not the only one. And it's like, it's doing a disservice to the real stories, you total CUN. And because there are the real stories out there, but there's more good men than there are bad. And the good men will fight and take care of the bad men if you stop poisoning them. Hi. Doesn't matter what part of the LGBT alphabet you belong to. If you're hating men, the men will go after and protect us from the bad ones. And there's way more good than there is bad. I mean, it's like an Excel spreadsheet. It's real simple. It's real simple. Yeah, just poison, not crazy. Exactly. I learned that from Jesus, Jackie. They're not crazy. They're poisoned. And when you really deep dive the poisoning, so now this is my gift to you to ask. Whenever you're like, oh my God, like whenever somebody's adamant, a female usually, and they're really adamant about, I hate men. Men are toxic. It's because they've been reading stuff that has been intentionally put in their brain to make them think that. I'm sorry to tell you. This goes back to my science fair project when I was 12 and I'm 50. So when they are regurgitating the lies that they haven't heard that were intentionally put there so that they did this, right? So they became a perpetual promoter of their own executioner. That's what's happening. And so they're like super adamant, like, I hate men. Men are terrible. Men are toxic masculinity, the patriarchy. It's like, the queen has been controlling everything. Hi, she's dead now. It's, that there's a real conversation to have with like the patriarchy and the hating of men, because there is poisoning information out there. And so you get like these poisoned women who are promoting this adamant, like they're adamant, right? Adamant. I hate men. Here's my question to you when you run into them. Here's my thing to put into your brain. Hey, I see that you really hate guys. What meds are you on? What are you eating? Read the ingredients on the back. And how long have you been eating it? And then I can't have a conversation with you. Like, I'm just like that. Then, okay, well, then you're poisoned. Go fix that. And then when you have some clarity, when you have some clear thinking and some clear body, then let's have a conversation about toxic men. Because until then, we're not really having a conversation because you're poisoned. Bye. See ya. And I love it. But I need all this because I have a chemical imbalance because my doctor said so. I'm like, let's go back to my science fair project when I was 12, shall we? Shall we go back in time? Ooh. Wait, hold on. Hold on. We're going back in time. Ooh. Science fair project. And no, she's not on anything but coffee and raw milk. Call me later. Call me what? Ready? I'm going to repeat myself, but there's an intention behind it. Picture me at 12, right? I look like a little Wednesday Addams. And I have a whole presentation that shows what is in our food, what is put in our food, all the colors and the things you can't pronounce. Okay? Are put there, right? Are put there in our food. And it's in a lot of our food if you start reading the ingredients. You can have a package, like the other day, a friend of mine gave me a package of plantains, right? And it was like, oh, look, I found something for you in the gas station. It's plantains. It says healthy, choose healthy. Picture of a little plantain and like a little teeny banana. That's kind of don't like. the little teeny banana, right? And then there's a dried banana. So it's like little chips of plantains in this package. Healthy choice, right? Turn it over. You turned it over, and it quite literally has, I'm not even joking, every single thing that I mentioned in my science fair project is in the ingredients of this healthy choice. Why do you need all that stuff in there? Why? Why do you need all that stuff? Well, my science fair project at 12 showed that these things that they put in our food make us sick. And you can go through each one of them. Yellow, blue, red, monosodium glutamate, all the blah, blah, blah. And then it starts with whatever it starts with a G or a Q, what they put in wheat that they didn't do when I was 12, that's a new one. That's also why people have all these gluten intolerance. It's not from the actual wheat. It's from the poison that they put in the seed. Do you feel me? Okay. So it's a it's a long play game. They are in a long play game. They are playing chess and they are way, way, way better at it than we are. And they've been doing it for a long time. So put it in your food, right? You eat your food. The food comes with a toy. It comes with a sticker. It comes with a coupon. If you do this, you can get the poster, right? And you just eat it all the time. Well, you're going to get sick from this, and this. And I listed each one what they do to you. Yellow 5 tends to do birth defects. Where can you find yellow 5? In cheap ice cream. Who's eating cheap ice cream? Poor pregnant women. Okay. And so it creates all of these illnesses. And I listed each one, had a little, those little paper things, those little cardboard thingy minijiggers. It was like a little presentation science fair project. Hi. And it makes you sick. And then you go to the doctor and you go to the doctor for like, ooh, I have whatever. Back then it was called hyperactivity. Now it's called ADHD. There's impotence. There's cancer. I mean, there's chronic migraines, chronic stuff. You go to your doctor. You're like, oh, it feels so good. Maybe I should change my diet. The doctor says, no, it has nothing to do with what you're eating. Nothing to do with what you're eating. Take this pill. Then they get you on pharma. And then when you take that pill, oh, because you've got anxiety. Really? You have anxiety and irritability? Take this pill. Then you're going to have to take another pill to counteract this pill, because this pill is just covering the symptoms that are happening because of what you're eating. You feel me? You see that? Okay. And then you have to take another pill to counteract that pill. You got it, right? And then when you die, you're on like 24 pills. And you're still eating that thing that came with the poster and that came with the toy and the bright colors, and you're giving it to your kids. Guilty. I mean, my kid will fight me on Red 40 all the time. And I was like, you know what happens? And she's like, I'm willing. And I was like, oh, God. So, pick your battles, but know the truth. And so you'll be on pharma for sometimes the rest of your life, okay? And then my science fair project, when I was 12, here I am, right? Hi. I showed you that the same people who are giving you the cure and the meds to take for the rest of your life are the same people who put it in your food. What? What? That's not a conspiracy theory. It's a system analysis. And I did it when I was 12 and I'm 50 and it has only gotten worse. It has only gotten worse, worse, worse. Rondi! Yay! And it's only gotten worse. Seriously. And what happens now is you know I mean, this has happened a long, long time ago. I'm 50. I was 12. And when I was doing the research when I was 12, it was very hard to find. I was like, picture me in all the big libraries. I went to the big libraries, to the big books, and like looked up the research of like the tests they did on yellow dye number 5, blah blah blah. And then they saw that they had all these birth defects that happened because of yellow dye number 5. And then I started researching. Well, where's yellow dye number 5? It's in cheap freaking ice cream. And it's like, is that intentional? Yes, it's intentional. Yes, it is intentional. And now all of these years have gone by with us not realizing that, where you eat your food, right? And then you get sick. And the doctors tell you, oh, it's not what you're eating. I mean, how many times have I been in the hospital? Hi, me. How many times have I been in the hospital for asthma? And I'm told it's not what you're eating. Yes, yes, it was what I was eating. And I've learned from the one in Nashville, which is why I talk about him so much. Yay, Rondi. Oh my God, Rondi, you subscribed to me. It had this notice that popped up and said, you can't comment unless you're a subscriber. I did not do that. I'm like, who did that? Who touched it like it? You can comment whenever you want. I'm live on my YouTube now too, so you can comment. And we're talking about Science Fair Project. I might be canceled on YouTube for telling you the truth, right? So you have to be careful. I'm also going to put this on my app for when I am canceled. Because the thing is, when it's the same people, what they did, all they did is just go and buy media, the schools, so that they're schooling the doctors, right? I mean, there is a they. When people are like, there is no they. No, there is a they. There is actually a they. And it's frightening, but it also makes me angry. And healing is an act of revolution. And an act of revolution would be stop eating that shit. When you read it and you can't pronounce it or it comes with all the colors, don't ingest it in your body. And then start weaning yourself off of the poison that they've given you. And then you'll start having real clarity and real health. I am breathing fully breathing. I'm able to dance. I danced this weekend. I danced every day, all day. My body is crazy sore. I've got like arnica on my knees because I'm like, holy Jesus and I didn't have an asthma attack, didn't need my inhaler. I danced all night. I had stamina. I'm working on my own personal stamina so that I can do my show. Because my show in London and also the show that you'll see when you got a ticket, thank you for getting a ticket, is I need some stamina, let's just say, because I'm going to be running all over the place. And it's theater in the round for a reason. Yes, comes with a package. And I could not have done it if I was still poisoned because I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd be in the hospital. And I've been in the hospital too many times because I couldn't breathe. Because I couldn't breathe for many reasons. One, my throat chakra is up because I wasn't speaking my truth. I'm not speaking from my belly because I hadn't even deep dived the issues there. And then I was puffing on the asthma medicine. I was taking asthma medicine, which made me sicker. And I realized from the one in Nashville, this is why I promote him so much. He said his Lute, LUTE.life, is a drink that he told me to drink forever. It took me a year to listen to him. I took a teaspoon for 7 months a day because I didn't want the ride, if you will. I just wanted the health benefits that he supposedly said whatever. I was like, yeah, I believe you, sort of. I did it for 7 months. I'm off of all pharma. I'm off of asthma medicine and I was on a heart medicine because of heart palpitations. Because you know what ended that? Divorce got rid of my heart palpitations. Oh God, that's awesome. And I started getting healthy and I'm like, I'm living testimony that when you stop poisoning yourself, you actually do get better. And it's like, it's a mindset thing. And it's easier done than said. Rondi girl just got to Cold Springs, New York, about to go on the road to pick up my anxious kid from camp. Oh my God, get them off of pharma. you got to, and a lot of those pharmas will say, you can't get off. You have to wean out, like you literally can't get off of the pharma. So you can wean. You have to be careful because that is intentional. That's all intentional. So I showed him my little science fair project that it's the same people, right? And then you got into a box, and they don't want you out of the box. And everywhere in the box, you're advertised to. Like just drive around, and pay attention to the signs, on the gas stations. Beer, candy, soda. You know, everywhere you go, like comes with a free beer or whatever, comes with a soda pack or candy all day long. And that is actually the one in Nashville is starting t-shirts that I love that are like, this is actually cancer and this is irritability. And when you actually notice and begin to see that we are boiled peanuts, hey Heather, when you actually see that you're being lied to, that you're being manipulated, so because you're in a box. And it's the same people who give you the cure are the same people who poisoned you. And when you have that aha moment, it is like, say what? And for me personally, I'm a rebel. I'm the one that's going to climb out the window. That's all. I'm also on my social media, my Instagram and my Facebook. That's why it's Angela Shelton 007, because I do stuff like that. I will save your ass. I'll literally climb out the window and go open the door for all y'all. So send me in. I'll do it. But healing is an act of revolution, and stopping buying their lies is also an act of revolution. And so that is also why I promote and I'm working with, and that's why I go to Nashville once a week, I wish, for a week, once a month, is because I'm riding with Sean, who's my friend Jesus. I like to say I'm riding with Jesus because that's awesome. Even that is some judgy stuff. People say that and they're like, oh my God, did you say that word? Ew. Can't believe you said Jesus. Hello, people. Your food is poisoned. Hi. And I've noticed I've learned from listening and watching fellas who are living the life I want. I'm like, you find what works and do that. And what works for me is doing the 3 to 6 hours of body, mind, spirit maintenance, non-negotiable. Even with, honestly, my friend Jesus, if he needs my help on something and I'm in my schedule of my 3 to 6 hours, I have to have that pause because I'm practicing what he's doing or so you don't just drop everything anymore to jump and fetch it, like a step and fetch it. Have you been a step and fetch it? I am a step and fetch it. Like, oh, you need help? I'm going to stop everything I'm doing and I'm going to go do it. You're of better service to everybody by doing your own body, mind, and spirit work and then taking the step to help others. It's a super simple thing, but it was so hard for me. And this is the first year of my life that I've done it. Yeah, because I've been in repeated stress. Like my stress level, especially in Hollywood and dealing with the paperwork of the unions, which I seriously want to say so many things about the strike. Oh my God. That's going to be another, I'll just go filibustering on that. I'll go filibustering on the unions and striking. What a load of shit. Because I'm a producer. So I'm an independent producer and I'm an actor and I'm a writer and I'm a director. So I get the behind the scenes of each one of those. And I'm telling you right now, SAG is lying. And holy God, just a side note for anybody who's watching this strike. Just for fun, that I saw that they did this little video that with what's her name, Fran Drescher, who's the president now. She's like, oh my God, you can't change the contract and not change the contract. You can't change the platform and not change the contract. The contract with the studios. And it had this thing pop up that said 11 films. Oh, really? 11 films are being stunted? Oh, yeah, that's just precious. You mean 11 studio films? What about the 11,000 films that SAG is holding up and not allowing to move forward? How about that? How about you were actually working with the agents in the studios? How about you're full of shit? How about you took $11,000 out of the producer's account to pay the actors, right? Okay. But only split up $1,700 between the actors. So on my report, I see that, one of my actors was supposed to get a residual check for $146.61. And I'm like, yay, I know her. I'm glad she's going to get that. Guess what her check was? $1.91. What the hey is happening? And already paid into her pension and stuff. It doesn't come out of that. I mean, I'm like, y'all, this is some BS right here. This is some BS. 11 films. Oh no, 11 big budget studio movies. Oh no. What about the 11,000 awesome independent movies that SAG systematically keeps stunted? What about that? Let's talk about that. I have 7 years of email threads with them that I can literally show it. And each time I was like, what the hell is happening? And it to where it actually made me crazy. I have Screen Actors Guild PTSD. I have SAG PTSD. And my own lawyer, I have George Clooney's lawyer, y'all. Like I have like the big wig big. And even she said, oh, SAG does this to independent movies in writing years ago, as I was like 3 years in. And then it was like, oh, well, does it end? And no, it's systematically set up to halt independent movies because many times the independent movies are better and more engaging than the studio movies, but the studio movies doesn't want that to move forward. And it's blah, blah, blah. Oh, you know what? It's also so similar. It's so similar, isn't it, to the poison that you're given in the supermarket, and then they give you the cure. The stuff that they tell you in the media, and then the movies that you're presented in the media, and the stuff, and the stuff you have access to, right, is only stuff that they control. You see what you feel me? And it's like, wow, that's so similar. And then you put down all these like roadblocks for everybody. One huge roadblock is the reason why so many of your in-town theaters are going out of business. Those little mom and pop theaters that are so cute. I'm like, oh, precious, is because to show the studio movies in their theater, they have to sign a contract with the studios. Speak, preach. And they have to agree that they will have that movie in the theater for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it is that you're locked in and you have to show that movie. The problem is ain't nobody coming, right? So, but that's why the studios, when you see the big billboards and stuff, it'll say 17 weeks in the theaters. It was 24 weeks in the theaters. That's because they put those theaters on lockdown and they had to show it, even though it wasn't actually making any money. And the theater is like selling 2 tickets, but they can't put the independent movie or any other thing in there because it's in their contract. They're not allowed. That's some bullshit is what it is. And then you're like, well, how can you survive? How can you survive on 4 tickets that you're not even getting all the money from, So how can you survive when you're poisoned? Get out, get out of the box. Hi, get out, get out, get out. And, I don't know what to tell you. And a lot of people say to me, like, why isn't your movie on Netflix? Oh God. Did you know that Netflix pays independent movies? Like they might say, like, you'll see the stories out in the world, like $17 million. Like I had a movie sell, my very first movie sold for $5 million at Sundance. That was a huge hit. It's awesome. It's one of the biggest selling movies. That's the rare case. That's because it was all nepotism, and it was Ted Demme got us into Sundance, and he got paid money in order to do that. And then we got in, and then we won, and then Ted Demme got his, and then he died. And then like, so there's all the behind the scenes that you don't see, right? And then you're like, wait, what? And then they control it. The programmers of the theaters, of the film festivals, work together, much like this crap, right? They work together to decide what they're programming. Yeah, I didn't even know that until my film, The Hammer, which is so stinking beautiful, beautiful movie. If you haven't seen it, it's this one. Oh, broken record. This is me. That's not me. I'm not a black guy, but this is a true story Not about him. He's an actor. True story about a prison boxer who was offered freedom in the 1984 Olympics to fight in the 1984 Olympics, and he said no. Beautiful story. Like when you see this movie, you're like, oh my god, that like should have won Sundance. No, I found out later it didn't even get in, and it didn't get into Telluride or Toronto or Tribeca, Sundance, and then there's other one where those are the ones that where you sell your movies the most, like where all the sales agents come. And mine didn't get in, and I found out later from one of the programmers who says to me, "Oh my God, hi, Angela Shelton. Oh my God, I love your movie so much." I'm like hell. If you did, why didn't you program it? Why have I had? Oh, because we had a meeting. What? Who's we? We, the programmers of all the big festivals, had a meeting, and you're like, what'd you say? And we decided not to program it because the trans character in your movie dies. That is why. That is why. Because she died. And I'm like, it's a true story. It's a true story. What do you want me to like keep her alive? And then there's a rainbow parade through Tennessee. I'm like, there would have been if she, but yeah, seriously, Heather, that is what happened. So don't let it fool you. So that means when you're paying these monies to go into these film festivals, and your submission at Sundance is like $300 to submit. Other film festivals are like $25 to submit, or $75 or $50. They are taking that money, y'all, and making a mint. And do they watch your movies? Not always. Do they work with the agents who are on the boards? Yeah, around 2004, the Hollywood agents started seeing that independent movie makers like myself could get in, which is what we did on Tumbleweeds, like could get in to the film festivals. And that's where you sell, and that's where you get, your notoriety. The agents started figuring that out. So the agents got on the boards of all the film festivals, the big ones, not the little ones, which, I mean, mine got into a lot of little ones, and it won. It won every single one of them. So I was like, well, yeah, hi. I mean, it's a freaking amazing movie, but not when you're thwarted in the box. So unless you're following there, it's like Live Nation and Ticketmaster now is the same thing. They're doing the same thing to artists. Like, unless you toe the line and are doing what they want you to do, you're not getting in. And then the audiences, us, are like, where's that awesome movie? I saw that. I heard about it. Where is it? Well, girl, you're going to have to go to the artist and put money in their PayPal and say, hey, can I see that movie? Seriously. Our entire life is censored. Yes. What do you have to do to straighten this out? You have to stop going to the places. I mean, that's the only, which good luck with that. Like there's a lot of people out there that say, well, you're not taking my beer away, or you're not taking my candy. It's like, okay, well, have fun with the cancer, have fun with the, have fun with not, it's the same thing applies, So if you see this and realize that what they're putting in our food that poisons us leads you to a line of pharma that poisons you intentionally, it does not fix the root cause. The root cause is you're eating poison. And it doesn't fix that root cause. It continues to play on it so that you're sick, so that it's money. It's all for profit. I mean, it's all for profit. They're creating little products in their little box. And the way to do it is don't get in the box. Like as soon as and also full disclosure, I'm dumb as hell. And I'm also stubborn as hell. And I too love things. I mean, I'm drinking coffee still, I quit that bean. I quit the other bean. I still have that bean. Heather, you know what I'm talking about. We need to hang out. And so when you are holding on to it, you're like, but I like it. I like to eat that stuff. I like being poisoned. I like being with that guy who treats me like crap. I like it. It's familiar. So when you stop doing that, there is a, oh, aha, like actually I feel better. So legit, you just finished your ice cream. That's really funny. I'll tell you my ice cream story. That I tried doing raw ice cream. That's a funny story. Put a pin in it. I need a whiteboard. Refer to this story. Oh, I might put one right here. Refer to this story next, Shelton. But when I notice that I'm being poisoned, I still ate that stuff. I still drank. I still you know, took my pharma until I started playing and working and writing with the one in Nashville. And he was an example to me of exactly what I had been doing, but he's not doing it anymore. So he's not taking the pharma. He's eating totally clean. And I'm like, huh, how do you do that? It's so hard. It's so hard to do that. No, it's not. It's not. What I did in my life is I noticed, okay, when I drink raw milk, explain that to me. When I drink raw milk that hasn't been pasteurized, I have no phlegm. I have no that I had for years. My skin is amazing. My energy is amazing. And then when I'm eating red meat, like, and that's deer or venison, elk. Uh, I love hunters. Call me. And meat, grass-fed meat. And he introduced me to the bison balls. The best thing out there, balls. I eat them all the time. I love them. I love me some balls. So he introduced me to the butcher box and North Star or Northwest bison. It's not like I'm helping him. That's why I put up the one in Nashville.com. Is I'm watching him and I'm like, where'd you buy that? You know, he gets his from Butcher Box and also oh yeah, you're a hunter. Oh my God, Heather. The balls are great. I'm like telling you right now. I could tell you a story, but I'll put a pin in it. We're gonna refer back to these stories. Cake. anyway, I'm on a tangent. So it's easier said than done. It's easier done than said. Sorry. You can talk about it all day long. But when you just do it, I started drinking raw milk. So that means I have discovered and found, and I'm always finding, please introduce me as I travel to raw dairy farms. And it's hard to get. It's like illegal. I'm like, why is it illegal? Because it helps you and it keeps you out of the box. That's why. I mean, it's real simple. It's real simple. And meat. So what I did is I travel so much. I basically, the most organized thing about me, because you can see my hot mess right here. Most organized thing about me is my play bag. It's all my happens. So my play bag and my kitchen, my traveling kitchen. So I got a camping box that I travel with in my car that I don't have to stop at restaurants. And I got a parks pass, a nationwide parks pass. And I really would like, send them to me, a parks pass for every state. That would be amazing. And I go to great parks. Virginia has amazing rest areas. And I cook up a steak. Or I cook up so I have this, I really want one of those fancy Yeti coolers. So I am doing the work that's required for me to stay healthy, drinking raw milk, eating really good meat. And I'm an excellent cook. Like I can cook for you and you'll just cry and dance because you're just like, I love you so much. I'm like, I love you so much. And I wouldn't have done this because that's weird. Or just stand in line at a restaurant. I end up saving time, saving money, and it's beautiful. Like I'm in nature. I take my shoes off. I always have bare feet. You know what I'm saying? Look at me. I always have bare feet, and I'm out in nature eating really healthy food and actually thriving. And so I do it. And I've been figuring out how to do it over the past year. And now I've gotten my little groove on. I would like to level up. I would like to have a little camper and the whole thing. That's my personal goal, is that I've got it all in one little, and my drums. Shit, hell. I can go anywhere. I love it. I'll come to your house. So that's what I've learned, because I told myself a story of that's too hard. That's too hard. I've got to find something on the road, like a Cracker Barrel or something, and I'll get a steak. But then where are they getting their steak? And I love Cracker Barrel, and I love Waffle House. There are times when I'm going to eat eggs and bacon and grits. I mean, I'm Southern, And granted, there are times when I go home to see my family, I am going to eat chocolate gravy biscuits. I'm going to eat it, and I'll cough about it later. Cough about it later. If you know going in that it's going to make you sick, well, hey, cough about it later. So I'm living testimony on healing from the trauma stuff and then addressing your body and getting out of the box, which is my science fair project that I've been talking about when I was 12. You lost your voice? What do you mean? What do you mean, Heather? Or did you lose my voice? Can you hear me? Testing, testing. Can you hear me? I'm getting another notice. Hey, y'all, hey. So, hey, y'all, hey. I don't know why you can't comment. Know your sound. It's back. Oh, sweet. They're locking me out, y'all. Just like they're locking you out of the film festivals because the trans character died. Isn't that crazy? So I will tell you this story. Please see this movie and share it. And if you sign up for my email list on my website, I'll send the very first email I'll send you is a link to see this. And I don't even know if that's the first conversation we should have when you first get to know me, but it is. And I send you a link to see this so that you'll watch it without ads. Please, dear Lord, and all the cherubs in heaven, do that for me. I'm the filmmaker. And then go watch it or share it or pay for it on wherever it is out in the world. It's everywhere but Netflix or Hulu. So it's on YouTube, it's on iTunes, it's on Amazon Prime is the best place. Amazon Prime is the best place to see it. Faux show. And hold on, I've got to plug myself in. I'm getting a battery warning. You want me to put this up your butt? Hold on. Just beware for 1 second. I'm gonna plug you in. Ready? Oh gosh. How'd that feel? You like it? Was it as good for you as it was for me? Help! Knocking down things. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, look, I have this too. Hey, baby. Hey, Heather, is my sound back? Is my sound back? I gotta take this crown off. It's gotta go. The crown hurts, y'all. This is more funny. This is funnier. Ready? What? Do you think I should put this on my What was she saying? I couldn't understand. With the nurse is in. The nurse is in. Hey, y'all. Hey. How's that? Hi. So anyway, do you want to get pricked? Would you like your prick today? Where's my sticks? Go. You just sit. Here's one right here. All right, sweet. I should be doing yoga. Oh my God, I have so many costumes and wigs. It's so fun. And I need my Elvis outfit. I need to find it because I do need to dress like Elvis in my show. And there's a moment and there's a whole history behind it. And there's a whole thing with Elvis. I love me some Elvis. Yeah. Do you want to know the history? I mean, it's 10 o'clock. We've been going for an hour and a half. And I'm telling you about the one in Nashville. Yeah. And I'm going to get back to helping him. I've been working on my show. And I have violin lessons with my child today. I have a bunch of excellent costumes. Ooh! Let's do photo shoots. Wanna? I'll come over. When am I coming over? Ooh, to do. Hey. I love it when new people come into me. That's weird. And call my sister. That don't know me, and you're just like, if you've come into my world, you're like, what in the ever living? Where's Jay? So how do we get out of this system, Heather? You got to literally leave the grocery stores, honestly, or you only get the ones that are things that are sold there that are grass fed. Or see, even if you say organic, that has been the rules are so slippery. And because if you realize they're all working together to keep people poisoned. So the media is gonna conveniently show ads and research. And we did a study that these poisons that you're putting in your body are actually good for you. Yes, it's our study. That's our study. Just like it's all connected, just like the systems in Hollywood. Like why you haven't seen my independent movie or why it's like locked off. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh no, we're not going to let that one in because it's not telling what we want to tell. Just like Live Nation and Ticketmaster. It's like, oh my God. So it's going to take people finding their own independence. I like the festivals personally. I love like grassroots festivals. Like that's a great way to find great people. I live off the woods, and so do my friends. I have a small amount of grocery stuff. Oh wow, that's cool. I'm coming over. Heather, are you in the Reformers yet? Are you in and you're in Jesus's or the Sean? He hates when I call him Jesus. He doesn't hate it. He just doesn't answer. When you're friends with a guy who looks like Jesus and you call him Jesus and he doesn't answer. Oh, sweet. Okay, I was just curious of how I can get in touch with you because it's in his network, and then I have my own. My friend, the one in Nashville, who I call Jesus, he's hot as hell. Isn't he hot, Heather? Don't lie. Don't lie to me. And he's also a really, really good guy and very, very funny. Like he's so dry and funny. I can't get enough of him. Exactly. You're welcome. I'm setting up some more photo shoots. He hides too much, just like me. I'm like, yo, we want to see more of you, y'all. We want to see more of you. Do it. Anyway, he has a private network that you can get in for free to ask the health advice. And he's got all his products that he uses. I'm in there. And it's just beginning. It's just starting because he does these rides in Nashville every day. And he'll have, 500 to 1,000 people a month of riding with him. And he's talking and having conversations. And they were like, what'd you say? And why did And so I was like, yo, you need to start up Mighty Networks. That was me. You're welcome, Heather. And so that means that I have to help set it up. What? I'm attracted to, yeah, he's really a really, really good guy. And moved to Nashville. So anywho, I have been helping him, which means I help him because I have a Mighty Networks that's not free. It's $25. And I should make it 27 because that's like my number, 27. Anyhow, it's 25 to get in there. And that is a way for us to write our books together, for you to meet my friends that are in my phone. So, and you practice your courses. There's people like we've gone to Greece together. We've written books together. We started businesses together. They've become friends. That there's movies being made, other books being made, courses being done in there. It's a lot, just like I'm a lot. And you invited him to come visit me. Nice. I'll come visit you first, and then I'll take pictures. And I'll coerce him into doing that. You never know. I am persuasive. You should come to Pennsylvania. Any questions? Perfect. You're like, perfect. Meanwhile, Shelton over here is like, is he 25? Where's my, okay, here. Should we just manifest something? Let me just do it. I asked him to go do turkey with me. What does that mean? You mean turkey hunting? You gonna go turkey hunting with Jesus? Can I go take pictures? What'd you say? You want to hear a funny story about hunters? Heather, you'll get this. Okay, ready? I'm gonna tell you the story. And I can't see your comments, and I'm sad. Now I'll go over here and share your likes. Oh, good, I see your hearts. Oh my God, I didn't see my heart. There's my mama calling. She's dying for me. No, mama, no, mama, no. No, no, mama, no. So there we go. So I see all your hearts. Thank you. I wasn't seeing them before. I was seeing only comments. You want to hear my story about hunters? Ready? It's very funny. So I'm in a Zoom. And I'm in a Zoom with a, it looks like the Brady Bunch. You got all the little pictures. And it is a nonviolent communication course with friends of mine. Nonviolent communication course. And, go to Turkey. Oh, you invited him to go to Turkey with you. Oh, she's committed, y'all. She's like, go to Turkey with me. I'm like, you want to kill a turkey with me? You want to, have you seen my comedy cooking show, Rachel? I mean, Heather, please do it. it's Stirring Up Trouble on YouTube and look for episode 13. That's why I got fired from Notre Dame. Was that episode, and it has to do with a turkey. What? It was dead. My mom was there. I showed you how to find your parts on the turkey. It was funny. So funny. Why is it all like, there's a weird thing. It goes like this. It goes, blah, 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 blah. Anyhow. Oh, so funny. 13th episode. Just, you're welcome. So funny. Anyway, where was I? Oh, no. I need a mic. I want one of those mic stands, and I want one of those little chimey bits, like where you can just go like and hit the chimes. It'd be so cool. That's what I want. That's what I wanted. What's the story that I was going to tell you that was so funny? What was it? The hunter story. Thank you, Heather. Okay, so I'm in a Zoom. It's a nonviolent communication course. It's got a Reiki master, art teacher, and me. And we're done with the nonviolence. And we were on like a little break in between before our next one. And the nonviolent communication course leader, says, well, we have a moment. Can we just do like a little meditation or a visualization together? Because the hunters are back at the lake across the street, the duck hunters. And can we just picture that they die or break their legs? I'm like, and picture my little box. I was like, what? And I'm like watching the boxes in the Brady Bunch, and I was like, die or break their legs? Why? And she's like, I just hate them. Hunters are horrible. I hate them. And the Reiki master in her little box says, yeah, well, how about we just picture that they really just hurt themselves? And I'm like, what the and I'm like, what's happening? And I'm like, what do you say in this situation? What do you do in this situation? I'm like, and I lean in and I go, I like duck. And they go, we do too, just not hunters. I'm like, I like to eat duck. And they're like, we do too. We just don't like hunters. And I'm like, what? And they went on to complain about the hunters and how horrible they are. I personally love hunters, and I'm a Southern girl, and I'm an American. And I was like, hi, I just want to throw this in there. I just want to throw this in that if anything ever happened to all y'all, if anything ever happened to you around that lake of yours, anybody needed it, like it was an emergency, anybody needed anything, those hunters are the ones that are going to save your ass. Too bad they're dead and their legs are broken. And I'm like, hey, hunters, I'll feed you. I will feed you and entertain you and love you up. I love you. I don't want you to die, and I don't want you to break your legs. I will massage those legs trade you for some venison. And I'm like, holy, and some duck. And I'm like, holy cow. And that right there, that mentality right there, is the poisoning of the brains that is told to us, and incorrect information that's told to us that like men are bad. Men are toxic. Hunters are bad. No. It's not true. It's not true. It's not true at all. And I'm like, holy jeez. Anyway, that just was so funny to me that like if you picture the little Brady Bunch's boxes, and I was like, I love me some duck. What the hell's the matter with y'all? And it is the poisoning of the information. And also guns. Like, oh God, hunters have guns. Like, and bows and arrows and fishing equipment. What? I'm fascinated by that. It's like misinformation. It's like people who don't know what the hey they're talking about. And also, I was standing at Sundance Film Festival once, and they were like, "Oh wow, you moved east. You oh my God, do you live like around Hunters? Hunters? That's the way the guy said it to me. Oh my God. Oh my God. This super, like, perfectly little beta male, was like, do you live around hunters? Oh God. Praise baby Jesus and all the fat chairs in heaven. Protect the hunters. Protect the hunters from the nonviolent communication course leader who wants you to die. What the hell? I'm like, that to me is funny. Do I get any hearts? No, you didn't think it was funny? I thought that was funny. And just so like, are you kidding me actually right now? What the hey? Anywho, thought that was funny. I love men. We were speaking about men today. They're hunters. Not all hunters are men. Heather right here is a hunter. And I am just fascinated by the perception of men is so skewed and totally effed up. And I'm telling you right now, throughout my whole world, throughout my whole existence, from the modeling world to acting to I'm Safe Side Super Chick, I've won an Emmy, I have done many movies. Every single person who ever helped me out of hell is a man. I'm going to tell you right now. Now, I was also RAPE and also a victim of all of that stuff. That was men, but there's far more good men than there are bad. Just like there's more of us than there are of them. Just think about it. If you've had a perp in your life, please don't cancel me. I love you. If you've had an abuser in your life, right? Who hasn't? Something, right? I love it when they say, when you get like all the stories I've heard and you're like, oh my God, that happened to you? And you're like, that was just Tuesday. What do you mean? That was just one. I'm like, yeah, a lot of stuff happened. And it's horrible. It's horrible. But if you look at your abuser or your perp or whoever it was, male or female, they have more than one victim. Am I right? My dad was the band down by the river. Like my dad owned a candy store. He had an arcade. He was a counselor at a boys juvenile delinquent home. Creepy, weirdo, pedo in the van down by the river. That's my dad. Okay. He had many victims except for me, which is where all my issues come from. I'm the daughter of the who didn't do me. Oh, what? So thank you, I guess. Weird. Anyway, I can talk about it. TikTok removed one of my videos because of the bloody scenes of my butchering my kills. God bless you, Heather. I'm addicted to hunting, whether it's treasure hunting, dowsing for lost items, or tracking animals. Cool. You should know my cousin. Did you all know that I'm a Shelton? I'm a Shelton, not Blake, although call him and tell him he's my cousin. I don't know. Maybe he'll believe you. But no, he's not my cousin. But my cousin, real blood, grew up since she was a little baby, is did you ever see Naked and Afraid? Did you see Naked and Afraid? The very first episode of where she got the turtle and she was with that total misogynist dude. My God. Whew, I'd have killed him. And she did burn the hut down. That's my cousin. That's like Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is with all the wilderness experts. And, I'm the fancy redneck that moved to Paris, the real Paris, not Paris, Texas or Paris, Tennessee, the real Texas. Yeah, that's my cousin. So I'm very aware of, like, she came to my wedding and she killed a deer, made an outfit out of it and shoes. And, that's her. I'm not married. I'm just saying I'm single. I'm single, but not available unless you talk to my sister because I'm dumb. And I don't mean to say bad things about myself. I'm just being honest. Yeah, it was like, Kimmy needs to check you out. I should actually have Kimmy and my sister. Those are my two, those are my two barometers. And they're like, no. Yeah, because each one of them with the choices that I've made would say, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I love him. Anyway, speaking of men and loving them, have you ever been bamboozled and gotten by one of them N-words? Not that N-word, you dirty, rotten R. No, the narcissist. Did you ever have one of those? Holy jeez. I mean, I have AngelaShelton.com. You could accuse me. She's full of herself. She's full. I'm like, most excellent ways. I am. and and all about the self fulfillment and actually self-love, because I come from self-abuse and self-hatred and all that stuff. Horrible. So yeah, sign me up for all the love in the world. But a narcissist, like an actual like manipulative, creepy weirdo who has ulterior motives, that naive as hell. Naive as hell. And I'm like, I admit it, y'all. I'm working on it. I'm going on my gut. I'm like, what the hey? But it did happen to me coming out of marriage. It did coming out of marriage. My first one out of the gate had been grooming me legit for 3 years. And the way to get me, I'll tell you, is to support my work. Yeah, is to, to have screenings of my movies, bring me to speak. Like if you support my work, I've already like a little in love with you. Mhm. This guy did that for 3 years, and then started sneaking in when I was like thinking about leaving my mate. He just was very, very present in my life. He was always on my stuff. He was always on like, oh, I love, love, love you. I support. No, it was all a trick, y'all. It was a trick. It could have been a Dateline 48 hours special. He had a live-in girlfriend. It was all a lie. It was all a lie to try to get me to write a script for him. And I probably would have. Because I'm like, you're special. Because he had everything that I want, and because he deep dived me and figured out what I want and then presented it, but it was all fake. And so I would just put a whole list on my site. This is what I'm into. This is what I'm into. Here it is. But if you want to, try to have all that, like I like countrymen, I like men who work. I like we're going camping in a tree. And you couldn't believe what occurred to me. Yeah, I can believe it. I totally can believe what occurred to you, because you're like, what? Like, so that happened to me. I got out of it. It was 9 months of my life of just like, oh my gosh. Well, actually 3 years and 9 months, to be honest, because the guy totally groomed me. And it was, I mean, at the end, when he got found out, the evil, just mean, like, oh, I did that intentionally. You're actually gross. I hate you. I actually love this other girl. I was just trying to get you to write a script for me. I mean, it's just like you just don't even understand like how, or maybe you do, or you understand like when somebody is just an actual shit, like you just like, holy cow, wow. And then you look at like, wow, I'm naive. Oh my God. And it's like, instead of like running from it and saying like, I'll never love again, I was like, well, I know what I like. I know what gets me. And you know what? And you have to prove it somehow. I don't know. Talk to my sister. I don't know. But I'm going to keep loving. I'm going to keep loving even bigger, even bigger. So you had an ex. My ex had me swatted. What's that? He ran my radon pipes to exhaust into my bedroom. What? What? So he was trying to kill you? Oh my God. Like what in the ever living heck? And then you love him. I love him. Jeez. And they always tell you who they are right in the beginning. We just don't listen, right? Am I right? And I was like, whoa. So I decided to just write it all out for me. This is me. I am going to be barefoot. I love cooking. I'll cook for all y'all. I prefer dominant. I don't even like the whole dominant submissive thing. I like men, like a man who is like a man. And I can't. God bless everyone. I have many, many friends, but I personally cannot stand the super city metrosexual beta men. I can't handle it. I want to punch them. I just can't. I was like, I love you. I'm glad you exist. There's somebody who is wearing a cardigan who's perfect for you, and I'll introduce you. But no, like find me the guy who is motocross. Oh God, could I please like 27, 25 to 27, maybe tops 33, 30-year-olds are weird, but the 27-year-old who is into like actual relationship, which is weird. But I mean, I am like I'm 27. I'm 50, but I look like I'm younger, and I definitely have the stamina of somebody younger. And yeah, you're love strong men who are secure in themselves. Yes, and who are doing good things in the world. And and I'm like, wow, I'm not even caught up yet. I'm still cleaning up the mess that was left from losing every single dollar um, protecting this guy. Yeah, that's what happened to me. So if you wanna go over who's dumb, it'd be me. But naive, I thought that I was doing a service to the world by helping you see this movie until I realized that I was in a box that was completely organized to stunt and thwart independent movies as my savings went. I'm like, wow, look at that. It's so similar to the poison that we're getting in the supermarkets and that you get on your pharma. And you're like, wow, I'm so sick and I'm on so many meds. How do I get out of that? Mm-hmm. I know. Lord have mercy. So I've been just getting better, like and getting healthier. That's why I started my network, Rockstar Reformers. Doesn't even have a picture of me on there. I should, because it's all inclusive, where it's like we need a space that we can speak with each other and help each other elevate and expand, not separated from the colors of the red and the blue colors. I mean, because that's divisive too, and that's intentionally put into our brains to get us to fight and hate each other. And it's like, I travel. I'm a Southern girl. I got them all at the table of my family. Like you got everything. I even wrote a script. I wrote a show about it and sold it to Showtime years and years ago called Chocolate Gravy. That's really funny. It's a show about very much inspired by my family that accidentally adopted a black baby. It's so funny, but it yeah, that happened. And it ends up being like the most beautiful, like Thanksgiving, this coming Thanksgiving is going to be a whirlwind of just wonder and awesomeness that is two communities brought together from one little accident. And it's so beautiful. It's so great. So I'm always going to share sermons, like real true like love humanity, love people sermons, and I don't belong to any party. And I don't belong to any club. I don't belong to any church. I don't belong, although I'm a church hopper and I've been to every state, down every highway, and I freaking love people. And I love, 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 would kill and die for people in the red section and also in the blue section. And y'all are being lied to. Hey, look, purple. It's purple. You mix it up. It's purple. Yeah, imagine. And and I have dear friends on both sides. I have like I love you, friends and family that are so staunch on you. This one's like staunchly red, and this one's staunchly blue. And when you get them actually sitting at a table eating food, they agree on so many things. Listen, I'm like, y'all, I'm like a female Huckleberry Finn in a hammock tied between all y'all's poles. Yeah, yo. I did go to DC on this. Oh, so you saw. Interesting. Yeah, if you went to that, then of course you're like a horrible person, right? If you went to that. I went to Obama's private events and I also went to a Trump rally because I wanted to see both. So it's like, if my friends in the red saw me at the Obama event, they would freak the hell out. And if people, my blue friends, if they saw me with a Trumpy bear at a Trump rally, they'd lose their minds. So it's like you're losing your minds because you're listening to actual BS on both sides. I went just to see the festival. The festival of activities is so fascinating. I was there and I tattooed my social security number on my rib cage the night before I left. What? You did what? You tattooed your social security number on your rib cage the night before you left. Wow, that's commitment. You know what I heard that I'm like fascinated by? Somebody please do this and tell me it works. I had Michael Ricks, who's on TikTok. He is a black man with a banjo. He's on my show, my second season of Stirring Up Trouble. I had him on as a guest because he escaped a cult and he sings about it. And he's a black man with a banjo. He's awesome. And you can have these conversations with too. Oh my God. And he told me about this. He actually sent me the links. I don't know where. I'm gonna have to find that. I sent it to a friend of mine. I know exactly where the link is, where you could. Are they trading our Social Security on the stock market? Is that true? Anyway, if that's true, there's a way that you can get the money from the bonds that they're trading on the stock market from your Social Security. Like you're like, wait, what did you say? And this guy like buys cars based on his Social Security number. And he sent me the link. I saw it. I was like, what? Like there are so many things that you're just like, what'd you say? What is that? Why? What are you talking about? I'm like, holy cow. The things we didn't know until we knew. The things we didn't know until we knew. And what I'm doing in the world and why I'm doing this show is that I am funny and fun as hell. But I'm sharing healing techniques. I'll do some with you today if you want one. Healing techniques out in the open so that we can elevate and expand and like get out of hell and work together to, elevate into another parallel. Sean, my friend Sean, the one in Nashville, says this all the time. Like we're creating a parallel universe because you're not going to stop this. You're not going to stop the box. You're not going to change every grocery store. You're not going to change the pharmaceutical industry. They have so much money. But what you can see is where their tentacles go. In fact, in Sean's network, in his Mighty Networks, that you can get into free. Mine's not free. His is free. The one in Nashville.com. I posted a picture of a map. There's a map that my friend Beaver has. She's sponsoring my show in London. She's a map of the allopathic medicine. It looks like a subway map. It literally looks like a subway. I'm like, oh my God, this is my science fair project when I was 12. Holy God, done as a subway map. And it shows the allopathic medicine and the tentacles in which they went, the pharma, and tentacles in which they went to destroy / thwart / silence / steal from and use and then silence all of the healing. Spiritual healing, it's connected, y'all. Spiritual healing and earth healing. I mean, holy God. Like I remember back in the day when I first started doing my like research, penny royal. Penny royal was something you could take if you and that was thwarted as being dangerous and we can't do that. And then right afterwards, the morning after pill came out. It's a little weird. A little weird. Do you know where our Federal Reserve is located? No? Where is it? It's not in Washington? My house! Just kidding. I'd look. Is it my house? What's happening? Yeah, this is like, it's a thing. Mm-hmm. The best thing you can do with me is bring me to your community, is bring me to your town. And the best way to do that is have a collection of people pay for it or have the school pay for it. Sometimes I get fired. What? Are you kidding me? Puerto Rico. The things you learn, the things you learn, the things you learn. Here's a technique I can give you. You'll like this one, Heather. And I have been in the face of some really, really scary people. We're talking about like, that's hilarious and weird, Heather. That the IRS and wait, what? Okay. What'd you say? And Federal Reserve is located in Puerto Rico. Why is that not surprising? I have Puerto Rican family in my family. I do. Let's go. So, oh my God. So a great practice when you're facing hell and evil, right? Okay. This is a breathing technique, visualization technique that I've done for years and I've shared. and it has helped a lot of people dealing, especially in court, when you have to go to court or where you have to face your fears, is to breathe. And also like it's all about your breath. I know, that's why I'm like practicing yoga and failing. I haven't done my yoga today. Oh God, yes. So is to picture, as you breathe, picture from the top of your head all the way down to your buttocks, your spine opening. It's like boop, 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 boop. It's all things you can do in yourself in your head, and nobody can see what you're doing. That's mainly the stuff that I share, and the stuff that I share in my show. And when I'm on stage, is like really funny things you can do that nobody can see you doing, that are super powerful. So I've done this like quite a few times, but especially when I was in the face of like actual like devil. Like I have been in the elevator with one of the biggest top, like, we're talking, it wasn't him, but we're talking like Warren Jeffs level of bad guy. Yeah, right. That guy. Super bad. And then I had one also show up at my house in Los Angeles when I was trying to save his daughter. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. And so I practiced this, and it worked in the face of like total holy hey fear of like actual like horrible devil person. I pictured the top of my head all the way to my butt opens up like boop, 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 like picture almost like a zipper or like a buttons, like it opens up, and as you breathe in and out, wings pop out. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like, what are you doing in your mind? Growing my wings. What are you doing? And it's energetically on other planes of existence, like does give you a like, and the practice is like, picture them. What do they look like? Instead of sitting there in your brain in anxiety and fear and panic and worry and all the stuff, picture something amazing, and that you are growing. Like, what do they look like? Am I like big maleficent wings or something? Or are they little fairy sparkler wings? That when you're focusing your mind on that and what they look like and how they feel, it helps you get out of the anxiety and panic. And also it affects that other human. Yeah, it really does energetically. Yeah, it's crazy. I like, wild things have happened in my life just by what you're doing in your head, or saying in your head, or picturing in your head. You know, we're all the time guilty. I love it. Fear is man-made. We make it so we can squash it. We make the fear so that we can squash it. Yeah. And you know, and I know victims of trauma, like that's what I've been doing for years, and that's who tends to gravitate to me, are the people who've been through hell and want to get out. Like victim addicts, no, do not come. Like, bye y'all. Like, I wish you well. I wish you healing. There are victim addicts in the world. They are the super poisoned that are really, really adamantly promoting their own executioner. They don't tend to like me all that much, and I'm aware of that, and I love them. Love you, bye. And so I don't mean the victim addicts, but the people that like have been through hell and want to become better and want to become warriors. Those are me. Hey, come over to my world and see what I've done, and get your sword on, because it works. And I have so many things. I have a sword class. I have a sword course, a dance thing that I do with swords. It's really funny. Unintentional and intentional, not unintentional, and intentional healing and intentional play that heals all the old stuff so that you can truly be a warrior. This is ain't nobody in your foxhole like a survivor. Because the survivor in your foxhole is going to be the one that's got that thing. You're like, oh my God, everything's doomed. We're losing everything. And we if only we had blah, 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 that survivor's going to have it. They're going to have it. They're going to either have the answer, or they're going to have the thing, or they're going to have the wherewithal, or they can crack a safe or something. It's going to be a survivor who's better. And so I've been working on my own better and getting better and better. If you've noticed, what? Working on my butt. And then you elevate and expand. and you help each other do that. So that's what I do. I do funny, funny, funny things. And do you know about my sword? Have I told you? Give me a like or something if you haven't heard this, because I'll tell you all about it. Watch this. If we feel it, we can also squash it. Yeah, it's true. And why do we create it? God dang. And what are we doing out there? How do we attract each other? How do we attract each other? So I'll take you through my sword. You ready? And then it's almost 11. I should go off at 11. She goes off at 11. Yes, she does. Across the room. Superstar. I was at a party with her one time. It was so fun. At Scott Burns' house. It's like the time I was at Michael Mann's house. So funny. I have so many great stories. Oh my God, I have so many stories. The time I met Julia Roberts is probably one of my funniest. And then Jim Carrey, that's another very, very, very funny one. We can put pins in them, and you can message me, which story do you want today? How about that? But this sword, and why I have it. Why does she have this sword? First of all, before we get into that, let me show you something. You ready? You ready for this? This is my golf comedy that we made after my boxing movie that the programmers didn't run because the trans character dies. And it's a true story. There's that. Anywho, I got many of the same crew and cast, and we went and made a golf movie. Ready? Are you ready for this? This is me. That's me, y'all. Yep, that's me. This is Tracy. Tracy's in the house. She knows how she likes it. Yeah, girl, listen. Superstar. That I'm showing you. I'm showing on YouTube. Hey, yeah, that's me. That's me. That's also close about the time when I met my friend Sean, aka Jesus, and he helped me start getting my health on. I did not always look like that. I intentionally gained weight in order to play that part because it was funny and it was dare. I like dares. I got dared to do that, and I did it, and there it is. And losing the weight and getting back to my body, which is before when I was modeling, I'm like more fit and I feel better and I look better, I think, than I did back when I was modeling because I'm not beating myself up. Because in my modeling career, it was also self-abuse and self-hatred and self-mutilation. What? Yeah, I know. And so I was on the road talking about my documentary and my book, which you definitely should see. You can see that for free. AngelaShelton.com/documentary. If you just go to my website, AngelaShelton.com, I promise you can fall down the rabbit hole. Good luck. I'm there. I'm with you. Mwah. So I was there speaking about, I was on stage in my home state, North Carolina. I'm from North Carolina. And I was on stage talking about self-abuse and self-mutilation. And there was this beautiful girl. She was, the typical like, wow, you're so pretty. Why do you say you have problems? Because you're pretty. You don't have any problems. And she was telling me, good morning. Hey, Camilla. I saw it. Hello. I saw you in the Rock Stars. Yeah, girl. We're writing books together. And so I was talking to this girl who was asking a question or sharing her own story with self-mutilation. And I, being the hypocrite jackass that many of us are on stage, was saying to her, wow, you shouldn't do that. Hi, everyone's talking to themselves. You shouldn't do that. You're so talented. You're so beautiful. You have your life ahead of you. Where are you? Where are you, half-ass? Hey, half-ass. Oh, I need you. I need you, half-ass. Hey, you shouldn't be doing that to yourself because you're so awesome and lovely. And why are you doing that? And, you're going to stop. And it was a moment that I had in where I was like, hi, hey, talking to yourself much? Because I had just done it like 2 nights ago in the hotel room. Yep. Because I was so stressed out, and I was actually in another relationship where I was also incredibly stressed out. And in order to get the issue gone with that dude, I smacked myself. And it was like, and I'm talking to her about how she shouldn't do it. And I had a moment. I had like a visual extravaganza moment on stage, and I saw, hi, you're talking to yourself. And also, what she has and what you have is like getting pierced with a sword. So, like, okay, you went through whatever. Look, there's the turtle. Look at, I pointed out the turtle right there for YouTube, right there. There's the turtle. Y'all see the turtle? There's the turtle. It's my daughter. She said, put the turtle in every single thing and let us try to find it. I just pointed it out for you. I'm sorry. So I was, yay, I'm excited too. So I was like, oh my God, I had this epiphany that what we went through, what she went through that caused her self-hatred, and what I went through and caused my self-hatred and self-abuse is like getting pierced with a sword. And you can live like that for the rest of your life. You can keep beating yourself up. You can have chronic health problems. Yay, chronic health problems. You can get into relationships with other people who are wounded and continue wounding each other. You feel me? Yep. Mama, not now. I can't. I'm trying to train my mom, y'all. It's very difficult. Training mom is crazy. Oh, hey. So you can live like that for the rest of your life. You can. My grandmother did it, you know. You just don't breathe. You have health problems for the rest of your life. You're easily angered. I wonder why. Or you're easily like, you're really like on edge. You're stressed out. Like, I wonder why. I wonder why. This is why these workbooks are my biggest selling thing. This is my most popular thing, or that throughout my whole career has been these two workbooks. Not this one's a new one. This just really came out a couple months ago. It's the coloring book version. And this workbook is the one that like therapists use. It's used all over. I've been asked to like translate this into other languages and stuff because it applies to any modality. It can apply to your retreat. It can apply to your support group. You can do it with your therapist. And it's not my like you have to do it this way. No, it's the concept of the sword. So trauma is like getting pierced with a sword, right? You can live like that. First step, acknowledge it. Oh, well, shit. Okay. Well, this happened, and you might have another one, and you might have some Chinese stars. And you can, first of all, you got to remove it, but you don't just remove it. You know, you don't just like one day lollygagging around. You're going to remove your sword. You got to like prepare yourself. You know, have a blanket, get some water, and you're going to remove it. Right? You remove it. And don't pick it up, like remove it. And those are two things I've noticed through all my years, over 20 something, almost 30 years of, as it's either crying or anger. That's it. That's really it. And you can spend 25 freaking years on a sofa complaining about your trauma just to get to the point where you can cry, or just to get to the point where you can get angry. Hey, woo! That was awesome. That was awesome. So I've seen it time and time again. It's not my first rodeo. I am an observer of humans, and I'm there myself. And it's like, you can live like that for the rest of your life. And to remove the sword, to address the core issue, it's either getting mad or crying, or a combination of both. And I'm telling you, I love people so much. That's why my TED talk was, I love you, squish, because of this very reason. Like, I see people, it was the heart of the matter, squish the heart of the matter. And when you see people that are like real angry, they're like, I cut you. I can tell you who they tend to be, right? But that type are afraid to cry. And once that person really touches their fear of crying and has a great cry, this like, I cut you. I'm mad. I'm mad all the time. That softens and becomes balanced. Just like the one I was the cry. You can cry all day long. You can see a cat walking across a field and start crying. But to touch your anger and what you're really angry about, that was me. Turn it on myself instead of out, because I'm angry at my dad. Or you're angry at whatever happened to you, you're angry. And to touch the anger, I never touched it because I'm not the only one, because I thought, if I touch my anger, y'all, I'm going to be a Tasmanian devil and I won't come back. And the beauty of the sword is that it it represents that this is not a clown car. It's not going to last forever. It's not like you're going to be dealing with it for the whole time. It's like just a clown car. It's just nonstop, just keeps coming. No, it literally is like a sword, and it's a crying or getting mad. And we can try every healing technique known to man. We can go to the therapy session. We can go to this. We can go to the big events. We can, because I've done them all. I've tried every single thing. I've even, I've done the drum over the parts to heal energetically. I've done crystals. I've floated in the baths. I've been to every state. I've done everything you could possibly do to. And if there's new ones that I missed, tell me, invite me. Let's do it. But I'm telling you, every single one of them boils down to what you're saying to yourself in your head, and it boils down to crying or getting mad. So let's just go cry. I mean, or get mad, or like, that's why I love dance so much, because dance expresses anger, you know what I mean? And expresses like, or can express anger, or just lollygagging around. I'm going to express myself. Man, you can cry while dancing, you know? And I have learned it with myself and seen crying or getting mad and what you're saying to yourself in your head. That's free. You're welcome. It's free. PayPal me if you want. Give love at AngelaShelton.com. Ow! But after trying all the healing techniques and all the seminars and all the stuff, and it's like everything's so expensive, first of all. And it all boils down to what you're saying to yourself in your head and crying or yelling. That's removing the sword. That's it. And then you have this moment where you're like, okay, well, first you heal the wound. You remove the sword. So express yourself, express the rage, have a rage bit, do it with a therapist, like yell and scream, beat the hell out of a sofa with a Nerf bat, or when I first started mine, I got one of those stand-up boxing things. Funny that I ended up making a boxing movie, but I beat the living hell out of that thing. I broke it. I busted that thing. Its insides came out. And I never saw any boxer do that. like, yay! I don't know what that was, but it was awesome. And I am mushrooms. Mushrooms are very helpful too. And yes, I agree. And I'm not on them right now. Let's I love dancing and crying too. I love it. Dancing while crying. Exactly. If it hurt us once, why do we allow it to hurt us again? Let's have a conversation. Ready? If you ate that stuff and it makes you sick, why do you eat it again? Same thing applies. I mean, you tell me, Heather. I mean, what is that answer? Why do you keep going back? Because it's familiar, because you haven't broken the cycle. I mean, I had a moment with Sean, aka the one I called Jesus, and he said to me, he's like, well, you did your science fair project. You've known this since you were 12. Why are you still taking pharma? And I literally had this like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm like, why'd you have to call me out? I'm like, because it works, because I'm addicted to it. And then he's like, I told you, only take a little sip of Loot or take a sip of black seed oil and your asthma goes away. Dang it if he ain't right. It literally, like, I can take a puff. This is also conveniently answering that question. Why do we keep going back? Because I could take a puff and it'll be gone in, like, my asthma attack will be gone in like 30 seconds to a minute. But it will make me sicker and lead me down a pathway that I will end up in the hospital, right? That's 30 seconds to a minute. When I take Loot.life or black seed oil, if I was coming up on an asthma attack, if I'm hanging out with horses, if I'm around a lot of hay, it will still happen. I'll start like, and I take a little sip of black seed oil or Loot, Lute.life, and it's gone in about 8-9 minutes. So is the answer we want it fast? We want the quick fix? I don't know. And so to pause and have patience and wait through the fear of that 8-9 minutes, and it goes away. And Loot is expensive. It's like $200 a bottle. Black seed oil it was $13 a bottle. And now I think it's much, much more because people have discovered that it works. It also works if you have this prick. Do you want to stay alive? I didn't say nothing. Black seed oil. And I think Lute. I really do. L-U-T. Like, I think he's onto something. I really do. And first of all, I want to continue this conversation, and then I want to tell you what he's got coming out next. And you really, please, please, please do it with me. So you heal the wound, right? You've pulled the sword out. You've cried, yelled, you've expressed yourself. You've, taken the sword out. Then you have a wound, and you heal the wound. And that's my whole thing, is like all kinds of healing techniques known to man. Then you heal the wound. You got a great scar, tells great stories at parties. It's awesome. And then you have it. And there's this moment where you're like, oh, well, all of the trauma I went through and all the stuff I did to myself because of it is now you have now you have a sword. Like, you have a sword. And that sword is your pen. It's your bow and arrow. It's your paintbrush. It's your microphone. It's your whatever gaming console if you're making one instead of addicted to one. Or, it's your expression. It's your life expression is your sword. It doesn't have to be an actual sword like I have, but and then you can use this to cut away the negative thought patterns that come up that lead you to the path of self-abuse again. Does that make sense? So you could stop the negative thought patterns with your own sword. See what I'm saying there? And then you have it. And then the next phase, the last phase is play, is to take back play. That's why I have play camps. That's why to hang out with me at a festival, you're playing all day long. That's why I have a play bag. Like, the most organized thing about me is my play bag. Quit judging. You love it. And there you go. So you have, you see it. Step one, see that you're like, oh crap, I am talking to myself. I have some trauma. Then you remove the sword of trauma. You heal the wound. You learn to use it, use what we're learning, use all the modalities to where you can elevate and expand in every aspect of your life. I'm doing it in my body and what I'm putting in my mouth now. Call me. Just kidding. I have to talk to my sister first. And then you play, and then the play becomes profound. It's profound play. And this is why I do this. This is why. So I have a course. I'm about ready to do 2.0 because I've had it up there for a long time. I filmed it while I was pregnant. So, and she's 9. So I think I'm going to do a new one. I'm figuring out how I do it because of, travel. And if I do it every day at 8:30, then I want to make sure that, I have service and stuff like that. So I want to do you appreciate hearing this. Thank you. You're welcome. It's it's so simple. It is all so simple. The healing, we're just told in the box that, oh no, it ain't simple. You need to go talk to somebody for 25 years and pay them $250. Maybe it'll be covered on insurance if you take meds. You notice that? Your health, your sick care will be covered with your insurance if you go get on meds. Do you see how it works? I mean, it's like, wait, what? This is my science fair project when I was 12. I know I'm a broken record, but shit. And I am a rebel. I'm a rebel Dottie. I'm like, F that. We are climbing out the window of this box. We're going to get out of the box. We're going to crawl underneath it. We're going to scale the outside and get on the roof and be like, yo, there's a dairy farm over here. He's hot as hell. Send me the dairy farmers, please. We got some meat. We got some hunters that aren't dead because nobody's meditating about them dying. And we got some hunters with some legs over here. We're going to feed the people, make sure you're all right, and then we're going to elevate and expand together. Amazing. Hi. And that all came from me talking out of my ass to a woman, a young woman, young, beautiful girl, much like me. She was blonde. But to her, this was when I had my epiphany that I'm like, oh my God. And I said it on stage. I'm like, I'm sorry. I do it. I beat myself up and I'm not going to do it anymore because I just saw it. Here's the thing. I don't know how to not do it anymore. Then I know now, but I didn't know how to do it. And now when I'm actually getting better, and I've been doing this for a long time, I'm going to do a course, another updated course about it. I'll put it in the reformers probably is where I'll do it. Actually, that's a smart move. Do it in the reformers, right? Okay. And it's a way to, uh, like I've been doing the work forever, but now it's showing up in my body. And you can look at me. If you look at me, like that's why I showed you this. Like, I mean, hello. Like there it is. There it is right there. You want to see it on YouTube? There it is right there. That's it. Not that that's bad. Not that that's bad because I was loving her. I loved being Tracy. Tracy like taught me to love every bit of me, even the rolls, even that flat butt and those fucking awesome pants. I just listen. I was like, she's got it going on. And that character did not give a. She was just like, that's right. That's right. I know you want it. I know you want it. Meanwhile, me and my model brain, because I grew up in the modeling industry. I mean, I've been brainwashed, y'all. Like this ain't going and this ain't going and this. And I'm like, oh my God, I could never go out of my house looking like that. And it was amazingly healing to go deep into that. I'm so glad somebody dared me to do it. God bless them. Thank you. I look terrific. Thank you. I'm 50. Call me. I like a man who's 25. But can they handle me? No. They're like, you're so much. I'm like, so much fun. How did you lose the weight? Camilla, here it is. Drink raw milk. Don't eat in the supermarket. And eat meat. Eat a grass-fed meat. And if you are vegan, then you've got to really do select choices so that you get the correct minerals. You should listen to the one in Nashville.com. Like the one in Nashville.com is how I lost the weight. And also dancing, and honestly, mindset. The more I know it sounds funny, but the stuff we say to ourselves in our brains that's negative is also crazy. So how about do some different, some healthy crazy? The more I fell in love with me, and not in a way of like, oh my God, I've got an Instagram. Not like that kind of love, but more like a profound, I love God, therefore I love me. Not in a weird way of saying like, I am God. No, get it. Like the more I fell in love with essence of spirit, the more my body changed. I know. It's like a mindset thing. It's weird. It's like crazy. Are you in New York this weekend? Are you heading to... Oh, we are heading to Bethel. Dude, I'm an hour from Bethel. Dude, let's go. I've never been to Bethel. And I'm about like an hour and some. But I am not afraid of road trips. Like, I love it. I love coming to your towns. I love coming. So we're going to go dance this weekend? Yes! Bring me. Can I go? What's happening? Do you have a campsite? Is it camping? Is it just them? Yeah, I'm about an hour and a half from Bethel. Hey, thoughts are vibrations that make or break us. Yes, it's so true. Look at Dr. Zemotos. You ever heard of that with the Z? Zemotos. We all have God in us. We're all gods. Right? Some people will lose their mind with that sentence, and because there's the Great Wall of Sin. It's a funny story. I need to like make a list of all the funny stories Angela needs to tell. The Great Wall of Sin. Hi. But yeah, it's the essence. It's the stuff. It's the God stuff. And the more I go into that and have my own practice be my spiritual side, which is my show, y'all. Asterisk. That's my show. My show, Pricked, is a sermon. I'm going to tell you right now, look away or buy it all day long if you can handle it. She said what? She said it's a sermon. Yeah. I'm going to tell you my spiritual experiences that started when I was 8. Probably before that, but I remember it from when I was 8 all the way to today and all the way to when I made my documentary. Which you really should see, that like threw me into understanding that what's happening with children is a pandemic. It's like the real pandemic, not a plandemic. Did I say that? Careful. I learned that what I had gone through as a child is only one tiny piece of the puzzle of like many, many, many issues in this world, and it's a total pandemic. And so I got to see the truth. Oh my god! And it was daunting and horrible. And so I discovered that, and then I confronted my own dad on camera in the movie. Holy cow! And the last day when I finished the film, I was in Bernalillo, New Mexico. The last Angela Shelton was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we'd interviewed her. I had confronted my dad on Father's Day as he left for church. I did that. It's in the movie. Oh my God! It's like, what'd you say? And so I had faced my fears. And then for that night, that last night in Bernalillo, New Mexico, in the deserts, I did a meditation. I did a meditation that blew my mind, and still to this day is like, holy, holy cow! Thank you for giving me that. I am sorry that it has taken me so dang long. Mama, stop. I'm sorry that it's taken me so dang long to express this and share it, but it is what it is. It takes us a while to come out of hell sometimes. I'm a great walrus. That's funny. Remind me to tell you that story. So I was doing this meditation in Bernalillo, New Mexico, on a full moon, I believe it was even. I mean, it was like all things, you know. And I can tell you this story. Should I tell you this story? It's great. Oh, Dr. Zamato did the water study. Yes, yes, yes. So I was laying there, and it's 11. I should go soon. But I'll tell you the story. Do you want me to tell you the story? Are you ready? Maybe it'll leave you with something you're like, oh, wow, I needed to hear that today. Huh. Amazing. So I was laying there, and I was like, I have faced my fear. I was laying because I was a lazy meditator. I mean, lazy. Some people will tell you can't do that. I don't listen to nothing, right? And so I was laying there in flat, and I was like, God, whoever, spirits, all of you, I want to go to the next level. I've done I've done this movie. I have finished. Little did I know, I was only just beginning, and I faced my biggest fear, and I have no fear. It's okay if I die. I want to see what my purpose is. Okay, so that was, I have no fear. It's okay if I die. Take me. I have no fear. It's okay if I die. Take me. So I'm like, that was my mantra. I have no fear. I have no fear. It's okay if I die. Take me. Like I wanted to truly go into no fear, which meant it's okay if I die, right? Okay, it's okay. So I'm willing. Take me now. Show me Obi-Wan. Show me. And I was laying there, and I was just relaxed. And I grew up with this. I grew up with learning meditation. Thank God for my mother, like teaching me when I was young of like how to contemplate, how to meditate. I applied that in church too. That's why I loved me some Jesus so much. That's why I got beaten in church. Um, because I would share ways to actually communicate with spirit and God, and like actually pray. And I got in trouble and beaten in the regular churches. But my mother was a little bit different, and she taught me meditation. Thank God. Anyway, I'm laying there, right? I'm laying there, and I have no fear. I have no fear. It's okay if I die. Thank me. Thank me. Thank you. Take me. I have no fear. I have no fear. I have no fear. I have no fear. And that was just my mantra to get out of my head, because that's the key with meditation, right? Is to get out of your own dang head. And so I was practicing this mantra and laying flat. Bernalillo, New Mexico, the full moon in the deserts. It happened, and all of a sudden, like it was so fast. It was so unbelievably fast that the only way I can describe it is the room went. And it felt as if my body was like a can, like a soda can or a beer can that went like it went from my feet to my head in and squished into some kind of thing like a rock, or it was a vehicle through which I was going to travel, because this is what's happened. Like it went and it was like my body was squished, or my essence was squished into this travel container rock, something, and it shot into the universe. And all I felt down, and I was not on drugs. This apparently was, if people like to label things, this was a Kundalini awakening. I don't like to label things because I don't like to be in that book, or like, I'm not a part of that club, right? So I've been told this is a Kundalini awakening. So it was like, and what I felt was, and I kept saying, holy shit. And then I went back in my brain, like, no, no, I have no fear. I have no fear. I have no fear. I have no fear. It's okay if I die. Take me. And so I was like, and what I experienced was leaving the earth. It was like this, and I mean, I was a rocket ship. I mean, I don't know. And it went so fast, blasting out. And it was like left earth and went into like space, and as it started to go into travel, it started to slow down. It was like so fast, and I just kept saying, I have no fear, I have no fear. Oh my holy God, what's happening? And then, no, it's okay if I die. I did say it's okay if I die. Holy shit. And it went like this, and it started to slow down. Like, so it went so fast, and I got the feeling of space. And as I was like, holy shit. And as I got the feeling of space, this little container thing started to open like a seed. And I was seeing it outside and also seeing it in from in here. So it was almost like double camera action. And I'm a filmmaker, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? And the seed started opening, and as it started opening, I felt like that movie Cocoon. Do you remember the movie Cocoon? Where it's like everyone's like kind of, you're a shape, you're different than everybody else, but it's still the same kind of hologrammy looking. Like, and it was me, but not me. It was like the essence of me, right? And it laid like this. It's like a seed opened. So I traveled, seed open, and it started to rise up like this, like laid flat still. And there were thousands. I don't know. I didn't count them, but there were thousands of beings, not beans, not lima beans, beings, thousands, and then hundreds, and then 12. And then there was this incredible light. And of course, I was like, is this some aliens? Don't you put anything in my butt. Don't you do it. Are you kidding me? I want to do it. But wait, I said I had no fear. Oh my God, I'm terrified. What's happening? And then it went up to the hundreds, and I was like, whoa. And I thought like I had thought like soul group. So these are people you came in with. This is your soul group, and here's your 12 guides. And I'm like goosebumps, and I was like, that's also why I have the number 12 on my tattoo. This is for this spiritual experience. And so I came up in between this, right? And it rose up the thousands, hundreds, 12. And it just kind of lifted up. I mean, these 12, and they were magnificent. And of course I was like, what the hell? Like, I ain't doing everything in my butt. And because I'm the rebel comedian, even in the spirit world. and and they were so calm and so loving, and I was suddenly not afraid at all. And they, who knows, I mean, I've been told this was the intergalactic starship people. This was 12 uh disciples. This is Jesus. Like, anybody wants to label whatever they want. This is my personal experience of, there was 12, and they were like amazingly beautiful beings. We're like, like, hello. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Right? And they said, and then it didn't say, like, it wasn't like schizophrenia voice in my head. It was a feeling, it was thoughts. Their mouths weren't moving, but I could hear it. And they said, you are fulfilling your mission in this lifetime. And I was like, what the hell is that? And what am I doing? I think I'm laying in a trailer in Bernalillo, New Mexico, but I mean, I'm here. What the hell are you talking about? Like, you have a mission and you are fulfilling it, good job. And I was like, what's the mission? What am I doing? What am I doing? And they said, you are a teacher. And I said, like hell, they ain't making no money. Teachers ain't making no money. Please don't make me be a teacher. Where? Elementary school? Please don't tell me that. I don't want to do it. And and I can see like how annoying I am, and also how precious at the same time. They're like, and this is my personal relationship with God, is I get smacked a lot. I used to smack myself. I get like I get flicked, I get smacked, I get like a tree branch will come out of absolute nowhere and just smack me when I have to listen up, kid. And because I am a rebel. Even in the midst of 12 beings, I literally am like the cursing, like, what the fuck is going on? Teacher, what? Teach what? And they said, you will teach the people. And I was like, okay, go on. About God. And I was like, oh, God, no. Please, God, no. And they're like, it is because they can understand that word for the time being. It will change, but God is much, much bigger than people realize and much smaller at the same time. And I'm like, what'd you say? What does that mean? And I said, well, is that God? I presented as like I was aware of this amazing light, like a most amazing light I've ever seen in my life. And when I thought that, I did not get an answer. My body went again, it went like into the light. The only way I can describe it is, when you're having a happy time with another person, usually could be with yourself, but it's not really the same when they're, playing with the bean, you know what I'm saying? Or playing with the corn cob and you have a O and you get to the place where you're like, okay, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Do you feel me? Do you know what I'm talking about? Yes? Yes? You know what I'm talking about? That feeling of like, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it. Imagine if you touched it times 400. I mean, it is like, like my freaking eyeballs popped out of my head, my skin came off, all my hair came off. It was just like this most amazing full body toenails come off. Oh, it was a it was as if every cell of my body had that. Imagine. Just imagine. Okay, like okay, you got that. Those who play with toys that are battery operated, when you get that feeling, that right there, times 1,000 or 400, and it was incredible. It was incredible. Like I mean, the big O is incredible. And as I was up there, I was like, huh, like you can't. You just like it's like every like it was the most incredible experience of my like in the O world that I've ever had. And I have now practiced doing the same with another human. That's great. And I having this, and in this moment, I, being the rebel, was like, "Holy, is this really happening?" I questioned it. And when I questioned it, it stopped. And so it subsided almost like, oh God, like one of those, and it subsided, and I slowly came out, slow but falling, and I was falling right in this thing again. I was like this, and it started going like this, and I went past the 12, and I was like, and they said more answers will come when they are needed, and I was like, oh hell. I want to know right now, but I'm too busy like and they said more answers will come when they are needed. And then I went past the hundreds, past the thousands, and then legit I fell on the bed. It was as if like I was 2 feet above the bed and I was in this trailer and I literally I fell on the bed and I sat up and I was like, oh my God. And my very, very, very first thought in my little human brain was, oh my God, no wonder we like segs so much. No wonder we're going after segs so much. No wonder we're totally segs addicted. Because that feeling, that which I'm going after with all the, youngins. Oh, what young boys? What? Shut up, Angela. Stop talking. That feeling, that like, oh my God, I want to get that. I want to get it. I want to get it. I want to get it. Is a hit. It's like a hit that is a teeny little piece of what it really feels like to have an O with God. I mean, that's it. And I was like, Holy Jesus. And I sat there and I sat up, and that same thing happened to me when I wrote this comedy in Africa called Fake. I saw the whole thing. And so I saw this whole show I saw that I'm doing in London, that I saw, like, literally taking you through why we have RAPE, why we have this child SIGs, because people are trying to get to God. And I'm like, holy and if goosebumps. And if you say that, then the dogma comes in of like, actually, that's not how you get to God. You have to sit in the room with a little book and like sing your little hymnals. And no, that's not my experience. My experience is, oh my God, like when you get there and when you have that, that is some profound God. And I've seen it, and it's happened more than once. That's also why I did this tattoo on my arm. So I do it on my left arm, is because now, ever since that happened, I'll have things that you have been able to repeat it. Yes, I've been able to repeat it. And now when my arm will vibrate, like when I have to meet somebody or when I need to pay attention to something that's happening, my arm will just go like this. Or my God dang it, mom. She can't understand. All these seniors don't understand. Time her anyway. So my arm will vibrate. My hand will get like a little like a shake. It's amazing. It's like I've now come to realize I just don't question it. I just pay attention. So that's why I did it on my left arm. That's why I want to do a whole sleeve on my left arm to like basically tell this story in my arm. Just as I heard you. I'm working on it. It's taken me 20 something years. But I'm gonna tell the story. Thank you. And I'll get hits. And it always happens kind of like I get smacked in the face by tree limbs. It always happens when I'm supposed to pay attention to something or meet somebody. Or like that this is like supposed to be like a thing. Like I'm supposed to say something to them or be somewhere or something, and my arm will shake. Yes, that's crazy. All of it's crazy. You know what? The pandemic is crazy too. The fact that we live in a box that's poisoned to keep us poisoned is crazy. When you see the subway map of how the allopathic medicine has commandeered and thwarted and silenced and controlled the spiritual healing, there's a map, y'all. It looks like a subway map. I will post it in my network and on my site. Like it's like, dude, like this is intentional to keep us away from that. Because when you have that, when I've had that experience, it explained sex addiction. It explained it explained everything. And I was like, holy cow! Like, imagine if you practice that and see like, oh, why do I want to have like that sex so much? Why don't like that's also why on my OF with the fellas, I teach meditations and I teach like, and I'll deep dive like, where is your hunger coming from? Where's your addiction to the corn coming from? Because you want God. And it's like, what'd you say? What'd you say? And that doesn't mean, you want God because you're going to get over this great wall of sin and all this stuff, like this dogma, because that stuff is all keeping you in a box of control. Fascinating. And so I'm going to share. And I had experiences like this ever since I was a little kid. They were very different. So I want to go to Angela Shelton Church. Take me to meet Jesus. Yes. Nice. Nice. That's what I'm doing. That's what I've been doing for years is I have a ministry and I'm just coming out. And like, so it's like, because people hear these words. You hear the word church, you hear the word ministry, you hear the word Jesus, you hear the word God, you hear the word spiritual awakening, you hear the word new age spiritual, like either side. It's just like red and blue. Red and blue get all mad. And it's because of whatever you've been indoctrinated with. And it's like, no, it's actually, that's God's stuff. And the rules that's placed on us here is only dogma and to have power and control over people. You know what it is? It's really the Mary Magdalene gospel. I mean, read it. And I was like, holy Jesus. And then I met Jesus. And then like my friend Jesus, who looks like Jesus, it just adds to my love of my life. Cause I'm like, I'm going to go ride bikes with Jesus. And he doesn't answer to that. which is respectable because he's not Jesus, but he looks like him. He looks like my version of him. And I just love saying that. I just love like, I'm working with Jesus today. And I'm open to life. Yes, same. And you know what? I've been so quiet about it and because people have a whole bunch of judgments about it. But I share the same numerology numbers, 27-9, as my buddy here, Elvis. And I've been through every single thing that killed him. And I'm like, huh. What do you do now? Well, lose everything and do it anyway. I'm such a rebel, though. It's like I trust and I know, and then I don't. You ever feel that? You're just like, oh yeah, I know that I'm totally protected. I know that I'm on a mission. I don't know quite what it is because they weren't joking. They weren't joking when they were like, more answers will come when they are needed. I was like, oh hell! Like if you'd told me this in the beginning, I probably would have continued, smoking and drinking and say, forget you. I'm gonna get married and live in a cul-de-sac and pop pills for the rest of my life and just, not do anything. or you can like actually have your life be a total mission and actually help people elevate out of actual hell. So that is what I chose to do. And it does mean that you lose everything. That comes with the territory. And I have more than once. And each time it's cleared out people or things or places that I was not meant to be at. I'm like, huh. Amazing how that works. What do you say? I'm excited and I have to share with you for some reason, but I'm able to go live again. Yes. Yes. Yay, Cynthia. Yay. Because you're talking to yourself and you have a greater mission. And really it's like it's listening to what that is. And your purpose in life is more important than your pain. So it's a little bit like, well, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit that you're in pain. I don't give a shit. I mean, I love you. I said that with so super love. Like, I don't give a shit that it's hard. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit who hurt you, who abused you. That happened because you came in here with an agreement and you have your purpose. And here's I'll leave you with this. You already know the answer to the question. You ever been in a relationship and you got out of the relationship and you're like, I knew it. I knew that wasn't right. Or I knew I shouldn't have done that. Or I knew I should have done that. Or I knew that if I did that, this would happen. Okay, if you know that 10 years from now, I knew I shouldn't have married that person. Or I knew, I knew, right? If you knew it 10 years ago, if you're sitting here today and you're like, I knew it, that means that you know it right now. You're just not listening to yourself. Or rather, you are listening to yourself because everything just changed. You're welcome. There it is. Red and blue. Whatever you're staunchly adamant about. Whatever you're staunchly adamant about, you're probably wrong. And here it is. And awesome. There you go. Look at Jesus. I love it. You're going to hold that for me. Thank you. So thank you for the inspiration. Oh, so you're so welcome. Did that resonate? Did you I know you're like, you did what in the deserts of Bernalillo, New Mexico? Spending time with you today is inspiration. I'm sending you so much love. Yay! Well, the best thing to do with me is to encourage me to do my course again. Please. And I can do it, for really reasonable because I know that everybody's like strapped because this box wants you to stay broke and poisoned. I understand that. But I need to live also. So I'm formulating what I can do in the world and also live a prosperous life by continually elevating and expanding and helping people. I mean, I am truly a reformer. That's why my group is called, I called us Rockstar Reformers because I didn't want to call it Survivor Group, Survivor Network. No, I don't even think we should say we're survivors, I'm a divine spark of spirit is what I am. And I'm just going around sharing it because it's infinite. And I don't have to keep it all to myself. I can share it with you. And then what are you going to do? That's why we have our book group in the Rockstar Reformers, is because it's not a matter of like, oh, so-and-so already wrote a book about self-mutilation. I can't do mine. No, you have to do yours, or whatever it is. It does resonate because it's you. It's your own. You wouldn't be here if you're here. You have a purpose. Otherwise, you'd be, take it out. Like, it's your time. You ever hear those crazy deaths? You're like, a tree fell out of nowhere and they were gone. It's like, well, they fulfilled something. They're done. Like, so I'm still here, and I want to do the course on reformers, but I get the videos to download. Ooh, where should I do that? I could do it on Vimeo to download, to have them, to not just have to go to the site to use. So right. That makes sense. Where do you do that at? Samcart. I have a Samcart. That's actually, I have a course in Samcart, actually. By the way, if you get any of my courses, if you go to angelashelton.com, at the top, courses, I have a couple. FYI, if you're on here, the code reformers or reformer, try them both, but it's reformers, I believe, plural. It's 50% off, like, of actually everything, even my speaking engagement. Don't tell anybody that, or tell everybody. And I joined yesterday and tried. Oh, I changed the. There was one video that wasn't working. I fixed it for you. I saw it. Yeah, you have to watch it in there. Oh my God, my mother. It's like, so you got to tell those seniors, when you don't answer the phone, that means you're on it. When you don't answer the phone, that means you're on it. Okay, seniors. Okay. Anybody have a super anxiously attached person in their lives? Yeah, I get anxiously attached to the 25-year-old. It's true. But I am actually an avoidant. I'm just like, oh my God, what's the matter with you? Jesus, go fix your own shit. Anyway, I'm a Enneagram number 7. That would be me. So I'm going to go work and help Jesus on his network. Please get into his too. The1innashville.com. That's on health, all of the health conversations, the raw milk, the meat. I'm going to do something with him. Try to do it honestly every day, but definitely he's coming into mine on Thursdays. We have a Thursday meetup every Thursday at noon Eastern time. And I'm bringing him on there so he's there to answer any health questions, because it's related. It's all related. All of us, like reformers, because here's the definition of reformer, is it comes from a prayer, actually. And don't get all butthurt about it. But God is sending in the wild ones right now. The ones that are rough around the edges, the ones that with reformational hammers to break through old systems that no longer serve us. And that's what a reformer is. And that is me. Like, I'm me, and that's you. And so it's like, let's reform some stuff. Get away from I'm a survivor. I'm like, I want to be on, like, get away from that. Like, we've acknowledged it, like victim, survivor, warrior. That's all great. It's like, we're reforming shit, because what we've been doing for years is not working. Would you agree? Would you agree with that? Like, the holding the signs, the crying about it, the marching, the angry at each other is intentional, and it's separating men and women. And that's what I'm like. That's why I'm like, men. Thank you, men. I love men. I love me some men, because the men, we need the men just like they need us. And that doesn't mean in a way, although that's fun. I mean, it fits, it works out, but it's more a unity of community, unity and community. Yeah. And Science Fair Project when I was 12, let's circle back. They who are poisoning you, who are getting you on a whole protocol of poison for the rest of your life, it's all profit, right? It is intentional. If they can separate you from awareness and connection with other humans, especially the men and the women, right? Get you fighting against each other, you're only going to come back and eat more. You're only going to come back and be more on all the pharma. You're going to be more in the box. It's intentional, y'all. It's intentional. And you just have to really, really look at what you're putting in your mouth. Read it. Know where it's coming from. Who grew that apple? Where was it grown? Where'd you pick it? You know, and what you're putting into your mind and your eyeballs. I'm very much like the Quaker mentality. If I hadn't been a model, I would have been a preacher and got I wanted a PhD in theology. That's what I wanted. But like the Quakers have a great practice where you don't put things into your psyche. Like I don't watch horror movies. I don't watch terror movies because I don't want that image in my psyche. The last one I saw was Monster, and I really wish I did not see that movie. I respect Patty Jenkins. I know her. It's awesome. She did Wonder Woman. God bless her. I really wish I did not see the Monster because I don't want those images in my head. So it's like, what are you putting in your eyeballs? What are you putting in your mind? What are you putting in your mouth? What are you putting in your mouth? And what are you ingesting, including the media, including the articles? Because you got to look and see who wrote the article, who paid them, who owns, who paid them, and what's the intention of the top. There's not that many. And there's more of us than there are of them. I'll leave you with that. Do the math. In your own life, your own perpetrators and abusers, how many victims did they have? A lot, right? A lot. They didn't have one. There's not one. You are one. So your perpetrators and abusers have many, many victims. That means, ready? That means there's more of us than there are of them. Right. But if they keep us sick, there is not more of us because the ones of us that are sick and poisoned are not useful. In fact, the ones that are poisoned and imprisoned with the poisoning are talking heads for the poison givers. They literally start promoting their own executioner unknowing to them because they're going off of what they're being fed. It's like, wow. So when you get out of the box, you realize like there are more of us than there are of them. And I wrote a great song about it. I have it on my YouTube. It's The Sword of Trauma, epic song. I can put it on my email list. Sign up for my email list. That's the best way to get to know me is my emails. I'll send one today sometime. But you see that there's more of us than there are of them. And you're like, oh, wait. Well, when we all get healthy, you look around and you're like, hey, we could actually do something about this. But we can't do it when we're poisoned. So depoison thyself with some profound pundit personality. Preferably P word. What's the P word? Popular. It's popular, funny. Anyway, that's leaving you with that. I know that was a lot. There was a lot. And we put pins and a lot of stories, and I'll tell you some more stories tomorrow. I'll have the best apples you've ever tasted. I'm coming over. Camilla, I love men too. Talk to you later. I really hope we can write a book together. Yeah, well, you write your book, I'll write my book. If there is a book that we do together, we do it together. Also, like there's also a way in the Reformers that I've been seeing how all of us are working on books that we could do a compilation book. You know, like you could do like Reformers and it like essentially is an ad for and a little taste of each one of our books. I mean, there's another like it's sort of endless. I actually do have distribution and shipping and handling warehouse for Reformers that's waiting because like I have and who is also a reformer. So like there are ways we are rising and helping each other. It's just not, and I have many, many tools. I have been in hell myself and financially and thwarted financially because of this guy. Not literally this guy. He's an actor. He's kind of an asshole. But anyway, I didn't say that out loud. I love everybody. Anyway, but this, I've lost everything. So that's where I've been. Just to, like, what's she been doing? I've been making movies. I've been trying to maneuver my way through Hollywood and learning that too is a system. And that too is a system with, amazing. Yeah. When you just deep dive the systems, it's not a conspiracy theory, people. It's a system analysis. What are you eating? And how are you filling your brain? And with what? And I love you. And I'm glad that I could fill your brain with some fun things today. Was it good? Was it fun? It's 3 fucking hours. Should charge for this shit. Yeah. Yeah, Elvis. Hey, boy. Hey. Oof. Call me later. We have a whole... Oh, here. You got to see my Elvis. He's got my ribbon. Hey, girl. Hey. I love me some Angela Shelton too. It's my boyfriend. Whenever I want to talk about my boyfriend, or like so I don't want to upset people because people get weird. They get all jealous and stuff. I'm like, yeah, this is my boyfriend. We're gonna go camping together. He likes to spoon. I have a little spoon that he can hold. I've taken pictures. It's very funny. It's very funny. So Elvis is the best. Yeah, Elvis, yay! I share the same numerology numbers as him. And when he died, my creepy weirdo dad set a place for him at our table for like a while after he died. I thought my bio dad was insane, like cuckoo bird lunatic. And then I also was like, but what if? What if Elvis could come to dinner? What would we do? What would we say? What would he say? He'd say, girl, go to church and dance. Yeah. I was getting my Elvis on at Grassroots Festival with a bunch of Black women dancing to Jesus songs. It was really awesome. So we have a lot in common, including what killed us, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm alive still. My mother's calling again. It's like she can't get the dang message. I love you. I'm signing off. I'm going to end this. Bing, 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 bing. Mommy's calling. Mommy teaches.